This couple had been together for 5 years without ever sleeping together. Tonight was the first time in Xiaoyu's life. But her first time wasn't with her boyfriend. Instead, her boyfriend offered her up as a gift to another man. The girl's name is Wen Xiaoyu. To celebrate finding a job, she invited her boyfriend to dinner, planning for the young couple to celebrate. But her boyfriend, Qin Lihua, chose this moment to break up with her. The reason for the breakup was that after 5 years together, Xiaoyu was still a virgin and refused to sleep with him. He then said that he and her best friend, Bao, had gotten together. With tears of grievance in her eyes, Xiaoyu asked him, "Our 5-year relationship can't compare to a few months with her." Although Xiaoyu felt wronged, she didn't want to lose him. After dinner, Qin Lihua took Xiaoyu to a hotel. To win her boyfriend back, Xiaoyu resolutely prepared to give herself to him. Qin Lihua comforted Xiaoyu, saying he would be gentle. Suddenly, his phone rang inopportunely. It was his superior, telling him to immediately arrange for a woman to be sent to CEO Lu's room. After hanging up, Qin Lihua's gaze fell upon Xiaoyu. He then sent the drunk Xiaoyu to CEO Lu's bed. Even his colleague on the side thought he was too cruel to be willing to give away his own girlfriend. When Lu Chun arrived in the room, he saw Xiaoyu, her face flushed, reeking of alcohol, and completely unaware. Lu Chun had no intention of touching her, but Xiaoyu suddenly sat up, threw her arms around Lu Chun, and pushed him down onto the bed in a woman-on-top position. But from Xiaoyu's perspective, the face she saw was Qin Lihua's. Xiaoyu took the initiative and gave Lu Chun a big kiss. Lu Chun immediately felt a fire ignite within him. In an instant, he turned from passive to active, firmly capturing Xiaoyu's lips. Then, Xiaoyu's fair little hands were also tightly held by a pair of warm palms. After their passionate night, Lu Chun was drinking coffee when his eyes casually glanced at the bedsheet and noticed a glaring spot of bright red. He hadn't expected this little wildcat to be a virgin. After his surprise, he picked up the phone to inform his secretary to move the morning meeting to 2 p.m. At this moment, Xiaoyu was still sleeping sweetly. Seeing how soundly she slept, Lu Chun didn't disturb her dreams. He then took a piece of paper and wrote a note. Then he used a water glass to hold the note down, gently kissed Xiaoyu's forehead, and whispered, "Little wildcat, I'll come find you later." Next, he went to his cemetery. Today was the anniversary of his parents' death. "Mom, Dad, I've come to see you." Meanwhile, back at the hotel, someone swiped open the door to Xiaoyu's room. Qin Lihua walked in. Looking at Xiaoyu sleeping soundly on the bed, he felt a complicated mix of emotions. The girlfriend he'd had for 5 years, he had personally handed her over. At this moment, he was going crazy inside. He clearly didn't love her, yet he was filled with regret for giving away the girlfriend he'd been with for 5 years. Qin Lihua was afraid Xiaoyu would hate him if she found out. Just then, he noticed the note held down by the water glass on the bedside table. He picked it up and saw it was a message from Lu Chun. He angrily crumpled the note, deciding that Xiaoyu must not know what happened last night. At that moment, a slight noise woke Xiaoyu up. Seeing she was awake, Qin Lihua quickly let go of his hand. Xiaoyu noticed her boyfriend was a bit cold and didn't know what to do. Qin Lihua also realized his attitude was poor. He then gently told Xiaoyu to go take a shower, and he would take her out to eat afterward. After a shower, a shy Xiaoyu said, "You went at it for so long last night. I'm actually a little hungry. What should we eat later?" Feeling extremely jealous and guilty, Qin Lihua suddenly hugged Xiaoyu tightly and affectionately confessed, "Xiaoyu, I love you." Hearing this, Xiaoyu was instantly moved to tears. She replied, "Lihua, I love you too." At this moment, Qin Lihua understood his own heart. It turned out that only when he was about to lose her did he realize how much he cared for Xiaoyu. He secretly vowed to never let Xiaoyu go again. This man, in order to climb the corporate ladder, personally gave away his girlfriend of 5 years to the CEO's bed. Afterward, he was dying of guilt and regret. Qin Lihua realized the person he loved was still Wen Xiaoyu. He found the other woman, and Bao wanted to break up amicably. But Bao was not to be trifled with. In disbelief, she said, "You're breaking up with me for Wen Xiaoyu? What do you take me and Bao for? Someone you can have when you want and dump when you're done." But Qin Lihua no longer cared about this. All he cared about was Xiaoyu. Seeing that the breakup talk was going nowhere, he got up to leave, and Bao watched his back and said contemptuously, "So you don't care about your company, your ambitions, and your aspirations anymore, is that it?" When he still didn't react, an angry Bao shouted after him, "Just wait, you'll regret this." Afterward, Qin Lihua took Xiaoyu shopping, picking out all sorts of expensive designer clothes, intending to use this to atone for his mistake last night. Looking at her gentle boyfriend, Xiaoyu's heart fluttered, feeling overwhelmed by the attention. Suddenly, Qin Lihua's phone rang. He answered and heard it was Bao. After listening, he quickly made an excuse to leave. He told Xiaoyu he had urgent company business and had to go. Sensing something was off, Xiaoyu decided to follow him quietly. What was going on? 10 minutes later, Qin Lihua arrived at a hotel room. When he saw Bao, he immediately questioned her about how she found out about last night. And Bao sneered mockingly, haha. Don't forget, the people around you were all recruited into the company with my help. I just didn't expect that for your career, you'd even be willing to hand over the woman you love most to another man. At this moment, Xiaoyu, standing outside the door, heard every word of their conversation. She asked Qin Lihua in disbelief, is this true? And Bao, standing by, added fuel to the fire. Silly girl, you were sold, you know. Paper can't wrap up fire. Seeing his lie exposed, an enraged Qin Lihua slapped her. And Bao touched the mark on her face and made a threat. Qin Lihua, you dare to play with my feelings, I'll make you pay the price. After saying this, she turned and left, leaving Qin Lihua and Xiaoyu alone in the hallway. Full of remorse, Qin Lihua dropped to his knees, begging for Xiaoyu's forgiveness. Xiaoyu was silent. Suddenly, she found the man before her disgusting. Qin Lihua stubbornly turned the tables on her, saying, you slept with another man last night. How come you don't feel disgusted? Xiaoyu sensed Qin Lihua's escalating loss of control and found him terrifying. Finally, Qin Lihua pinned Xiaoyu against the wall. Xiaoyu could only shout, let me go. Just then, a magnetic voice was heard. She told you to let her go. Can't you hear? The newcomer was none other than the man who had spent a passionate night with Xiaoyu, the domineering CEO, Lu Chen. Lu Chen immediately pulled Xiaoyu into his arms. Feeling the lingering warmth from his hand, Xiaoyu felt a strange, yet familiar sense of security. Then, 2 security guards appeared and restrained Qin Lihua on the spot. Xiaoyu couldn't understand what was happening. Lu Chen, however, said it was time to deal with their relationship. Xiaoyu ventured to ask, do we know each other? Lu Chen looked at the little wildcat before him and teased, you took such advantage of me, and now you won't admit it? Xiaoyu muttered under her breath, could it be you're the man from last night? I've made inquiries. Your name is Xiaoyu. I will take responsibility for you. These few short words made Xiaoyu feel an unprecedented sense of comfort. Next, Lu Chen went to a private room at a certain venue. After finding Zhou Qishuan, he began to question him. Why was I suddenly so interested in a woman that night? Did you drug me? Zhou Qishuan, on the verge of tears, hugged Lu Chen's long legs and confessed that he did Mr. President, you've been single for so long, you were about to become a diamond bachelor. Zhou Qishuan sighed, then asked how Lu Chen planned to handle Xiaoyu. At this moment, a determined look appeared on Lu Chen's face that I planned to take full responsibility for her. But she rejected me. What? You were rejected? Zhou Qishuan clutched his stomach and burst out laughing. Ha! I never thought you, Lu Chen, would see this day. The Lu Chen that countless women try to please has actually been rejected. Meanwhile, Xiaoyu was busy with her normal work at the company. After work, she was harassed by Qin Lihua. Her female colleagues, not knowing the truth, saw this and assumed Xiaoyu was a mistress. They called her a slut and said she was causing a scene at the company, constantly saying nasty things. Qin Lihua grabbed Xiaoyu, saying he didn't mind the past and that he only loved Xiaoyu now. Xiaoyu said, I was blind before, but now I know you're this kind of hypocrite. It's not too late. Qin Lihua, I look down on you. As if his tail had been stepped on, Qin Lihua slapped Xiaoyu across the face, cursing, you slut. Then, without any regard for Xiaoyu's feelings, he turned and left, leaving Xiaoyu alone to cry in the rain. At this moment, she felt incredibly heartbroken. When you're at your most helpless and a man shields you from the wind and rain, he must really love you, right? Just moments ago, the boyfriend who betrayed her came to the company and caused a huge scene, leaving Xiaoyu all alone, sitting on the ground. When Xiaoyu looked up at the sky, helplessly, she didn't understand why things had become like this. What'd she done wrong? Her tears mixed with the rain, dripping down. Suddenly, an umbrella shielded Xiaoyu from the rain. When Xiaoyu looked up and saw it was Lu Chen, Lu Chen slowly squatted down and gently wiped away Xiaoyu's tears with his hand. He softly comforted Xiaoyu, don't punish yourself for someone else's mistakes. When Xiaoyu asked Lu Chen, why are you here? It turned out that a few hours earlier, Lu Chen, after being rejected by Xiaoyu, had asked Zhou Qixuan for advice on how to pursue a girl. Zhou Qixuan told Lu Chun to conquer her with his charm. In that moment, Lu Chun seemed to have an epiphany. He ordered Zhou Qixuan to get him all of Wen Xiaoyu's information within 3 minutes. Lu Chun looked at the sorrowful Wen Xiaoyu and wanted to take her to eat something, but she was in no mood. She stood up abruptly, saying she was going home. Wiping her tears, Wen Xiaoyu apologized to Lu Chun. "I'm sorry you had to see me in such a disgraceful state again." But when she learned Lu Chun had come specifically for her, she blushed. Seeing Wen Xiaoyu's flushed face, Lu Chun was pleased and muttered to himself, "She's blushing. Looks like I'm still quite charming." Wen Xiaoyu quickly explained to Lu Chun, "If this is about that night, I've already made it clear to you. I don't need your pity or for you to take responsibility." Lu Chun placed his hands on Wen Xiaoyu's shoulders. "That I'm serious." Hearing the word serious, Wen Xiaoyu thought of the promises her ex-boyfriend had made to her. She pushed Lu Chun's hands away. Mr. Lu, if you want to play love games, please find someone else, okay? I'm tired and don't want to play along. Lu Chun was rejected by Wen Xiaoyu again. The rejected Lu Chun went to his office and called for his strategist, Zhou Qixuan. He wanted to cancel the investment plan for Qin Lihua's company. Qin Lihua was willing to sacrifice his own girlfriend to get the investment. A person like that is not suitable for cooperation. Zhou Qixuan loudly agreed. A person like that is too despicable. Lu Chun stared coldly at Zhou Qixuan. "That you're not uninvolved in this matter either." Looking at Zhou Qixuan, Lu Chun already knew who had orchestrated it. He warned Zhou Qixuan, "Don't you forget who your boss is." Lu Chun returned home and pushed open his grandfather's study. He loudly asked his grandfather why he did it. Old Master Lu took off his glasses and sighed softly. "You never date. There are rumors outside that you and Zhou Qixuan are secretly together. There's gossip about you too. How can I allow people to point fingers at the Lu family?" Old Master Lu stood up and patted Lu Chen's shoulder. "That woman's name is Wen Xiaoyu. You should compensate her properly for what happened. Money is not an issue." Lu Chen roared at Old Master Lu. "You were the one who forced Ran away back then. All these years, you've pushed countless women on me, and I never embarrassed you, just rejected them gracefully. But why do you keep forcing me? Now you've even started using Zhou Qixuan. Is there anything you wouldn't do? Do you really think money can buy everything?" Old Master Lu chuckled softly. "Aren't all women like that?" But Lu Chun didn't care about his grandfather. He directly laid his card on the table. "That I like Wen Xiaoyu. I'm going to marry Wen Xiaoyu." This made his grandfather so angry he was bristling with rage. The moment Lu Chun left, his grandfather made a phone call, telling the person on the other end to investigate someone named Wen Xiaoyu and bring her to see him. This has to be the most tragic. Female lead. Her boyfriend gave her to a CEO as a gift for a promotion. To keep a client, her company actually made Wen Xiaoyu drink with him. Drinking with a client for the first time, Wen Xiaoyu sat anxiously on the sofa, holding her glass. A bald, lecherous old man slowly walked over, sat down next to Wen Xiaoyu, and put his arm around her shoulder. Wen Xiaoyu disgustedly tried to move away. Her supervisor, standing nearby, yelled, "Do you still want your job or not? This is a major client of our company." After drinking for a while, Wen Xiaoyu's face was flushed. She quickly waved her hands, indicating she really couldn't drink anymore. Wen Xiaoyu knew that if she got drunk, she would definitely be taken away. She made an excuse to go to the restroom. In the restroom, Wen Xiaoyu desperately wanted to leave. But then she thought, if she lost her job, what would happen to her mother and sister? Wen Xiaoyu encouraged herself, "I can do this." But suddenly, a man's foot stepped in. Wen Xiaoyu was about to ask if he had walked into the wrong restroom, but she was shocked to see it was Lu Chun. She stumbled backward in fear. Lu Chun grabbed Wen Xiaoyu's hand and started walking toward the door. Wen Xiaoyu quickly shook her head, indicating she couldn't leave. Lu Chun questioned Wen Xiaoyu, "Are you that desperate for money? To the point of drinking with clients? If you have to drink with someone, you can drink with me." Wen Xiaoyu lowered her head. "Is this your capitalist game? Do you have to humiliate me like this?" Lu Chun stepped forward and lifted Wen Xiaoyu's chin. "This isn't humiliation. It's a choice." Lu Chun put his arm around Wen Xiaoyu's slender waist. He looked affectionately at Wen Xiaoyu. "How will you choose?" At this moment, Wen Xiaoyu's face was flushed and tears welled up in her eyes. "I just want to live a decent life. Why is it so hard?" Lu Chun gently wiped the tears from the corner of Wen Xiaoyu's eyes. This simple gesture made Wen Xiaoyu's cheeks turn even redder. Wen Xiaoyu noticed Lu Chun was secretly smiling and asked angrily, "What are you smiling at?" Lu Chun placed his hands on Wen Xiaoyu's shoulders. "I know you were forced into this. So, you see, didn't I come to save you? Can you imagine? The domineering CEO, Lu Chun, barges into the women's restroom to take Wen Xiaoyu away, all for the sake of meeting his family. Lu Chun prepared a new set of clothes for Wen Xiaoyu. He then took Wen Xiaoyu's hand and brought her before Old Master Lu. Old Master Lu looked at the hand-holding couple and took off his glasses. He gestured for Lu Chun to go outside, wanted to talk to Wen Xiaoyu alone. Lu Chun stood protectively in front of Wen Xiaoyu. Old Master Lu said slowly, "Are you afraid I'm going to eat her?" Lu Chun turned and instructed Wen Xiaoyu, "I'll be right outside. Call me if you need anything." Wen Xiaoyu nodded. As the door closed with a click, Wen Xiaoyu respectfully greeted Old Master Lu. Old Master Lu wiped his glasses. "That I'm very curious. What tricks did you use to make Lu Chun so infatuated with you that he says he'll marry no one else?" Wen Xiaoyu was shocked. Lu Chun had actually said something like that. Wen Xiaoyu nervously told Old Master Lu, "I've already rejected Lu Chun. I never thought of marrying into your Lu family." Looking at the nervous Wen Xiaoyu, Old Master Lu slammed his left hand on the table. "You think I'll believe that? Name your price to leave Lu Chun." Wen Xiaoyu looked at the unreasonable Old Master Lu. "Old Master Lu, I respect you because of your age. If you continue to be so unreasonable, I'll have to leave." With that, Wen Xiaoyu walked towards the door. Lu Chun, who was waiting outside, grabbed Wen Xiaoyu, who fell into his arms. Lu Chun looked gently at Wen Xiaoyu. "Finished talking? I'll take you home." In the car, Lu Chun looked at the silent Wen Xiaoyu. "Aren't you curious? Why I took you to see my grandfather?" Wen Xiaoyu was about to say something, but instead told Lu Chun, "I don't accept your pity. I don't need you to take responsibility." Lu Chun replied softly, "I know." Wen Xiaoyu instantly flared up. "If you know, why did you take me to see Old Master Lu?" Lu Chun made a shush gesture, "And why grandfather definitely knows about what happened between us. He's furious. Even if I didn't bring you here today, he would have had you brought over sooner or later. To prevent you from unnecessary harm, I had to take matters into my own hands and bring you here." But when Xiaoyu was still confused, Lu Chun smiled and said, "Only if you don't like me can you act neither servile nor overbearing. That way, my grandfather can't do anything to you." When Xiaoyu turned her head to look out the window, everything really is under CEO Lu's control. Can you imagine? The moment when Xiaoyu came to work in the morning, she became the subject of everyone's gossip. Such a big project fell through, just like that. This Wen Xiaoyu is really something. Hearing her colleagues whispering, Wen Xiaoyu felt she should just resign. Wen Xiaoyu went to the HR office and submitted her resignation letter. She apologized to the manager, saying that because of her, the company had suffered a major loss. But the manager felt very helpless because early that morning, the general manager had called and said not to give her a hard time under any circumstances. Wen Xiaoyu was surprised. The manager also reminded Wen Xiaoyu, "Although we're good friends privately, and I don't want to make things difficult for you, being asked to do this by the higher-ups feels a bit awkward. After all, this isn't standard procedure." "Xiaoyu, what are you thinking?" After a moment of hesitation, Wen Xiaoyu still decided to resign. Now jobless, Wen Xiaoyu walked out of the company dejectedly. But suddenly, she heard someone call her name. It was Lu Chun. Lu Chun walked up to Wen Xiaoyu. "I heard you resigned." Wen Xiaoyu lowered her head. "CEO Lu, your news travels fast." Lu Chun stared at Wen Xiaoyu. What a pity. To lose such an excellent and responsible employee. Wen Xiaoyu looked up in shock. "Are you feeling sorry for my company's management?" Lu Chun shook his head. Wen Xiaoyu didn't understand. Lu Chun flicked Wen Xiaoyu's forehead. "I just bought the company, and you resigned. Aren't I just feeling sorry for myself?" Wen Xiaoyu was speechless. "If you have so much money, you can donate it to charity. I don't need you to do these things for me. Do whatever you want, just don't spend it on me." Lu Chun looked seriously at Wen Xiaoyu and asked, "Don't you understand yet?" Wen Xiaoyu looked puzzled. "Understand what?" Lu Chun told Wen Xiaoyu solemnly, "I'm pursuing you." Faced with Lu Chun's forceful confession, Wen Xiaoyu waved her hand impatiently. "I don't need your pity, and I don't want to play your rich people's love games. Right now, I just want to live a good life and work hard to earn money." Lu Chun didn't expect to be rejected so cleanly by Wen Xiaoyu and left, dejected. Can you imagine? The domineering CEO Lu Chun, who has it all, looks, talent, wisdom, and beauty, is heartbroken again. The heartbroken Lu Chun had no mood for work and sat dejectedly in his chair. Zhou Qishuan rushed to ask what happened. It turned out Lu Chun had been rejected by Wen Xiaoyu again. "Wen Xiaoyu thinks I want to play love games with her." Zhou Qishuan picked up Lu Chun's coffee, took a sip, and helped Lu Chun analyze the situation. "Actually, it's quite normal. After all, She's been through such a scumbag. Once bitten by a snake, twice shy. I say, just propose directly. That way, she'll know you're serious. Lu Chun sighed softly. That won't work. She'll just resent me more. Lu Chun came up with a new strategy. The next morning, Lu Chun went to the entrance of Wen Xiaoyu's residential complex. Wen Xiaoyu was shocked to see Lu Chun. Why are you here again? Lu Chun quickly explained, if we can't be lovers, we can be friends. Are you going to look for a job? Wen Xiaoyu felt a bit helpless. You really know everything. In the car, Lu Chun gently fastened Wen Xiaoyu's seatbelt and started telling her about a job. Wen Xiaoyu guiltily looked out the window, that I can find a job myself. But Lu Chun didn't give Wen Xiaoyu a chance to explain that a friend. There's nothing wrong with helping you find a job. Wen Xiaoyu couldn't argue with Lu Chun and tacitly agreed. Lu Chun felt a thrill of delight that that's a good girl. While Wen Xiaoyu was in her interview, Lu Chun waited outside, bored, playing on his phone. Suddenly, the door opened. Seeing Wen Xiaoyu come out, Lu Chun quickly took off his headphones and asked about the interview. Wen Xiaoyu happily told Lu Chun that she passed the interview. Lu Chun promptly suggested, I helped you find a job. Shouldn't you treat me to a meal? Wen Xiaoyu happily agreed. Wen Xiaoyu took Lu Chun to a Sichuan restaurant, intending to treat him to a big meal. The domineering CEO Lu Chun, to make Wen Xiaoyu fall into his arms, specifically invited Wen Xiaoyu to see the scariest movie. But Wen Xiaoyu, sitting next to him, watched the movie intently, calmly, sipping her drink. Lu Chun felt he had underestimated Wen Xiaoyu's courage. He needed to change his strategy. Suddenly, an idea flashed in Lu Chun's mind. He threw himself into Wen Xiaoyu's arms. Wen Xiaoyu looked down at Lu Chun, patting his head. There, don't be scared. Little did she know, Lu Chun was smiling triumphantly. After the movie, Lu Chun deliberately let out a long sigh. That was terrifying. I'm never watching a horror movie again. Wen Xiaoyu, beside him, burst out laughing. I never thought you, who seems so tough, would be afraid of this. Lu Chun flicked Wen Xiaoyu's forehead. Nobody's perfect. Don't have such high expectations. Wen Xiaoyu stood there with a wronged expression, but I didn't have any expectations. After the movie, Lu Chun took Wen Xiaoyu home. In the car, Lu Chun told Wen Xiaoyu he was very happy today. Looking at the serious Lu Chun, Xiaoyu's face turned red as she thanked him. Thank you for taking me home. After saying that, she hurriedly got out of the car and ran home. Lu Chun watched the fluster Wen Xiaoyu and smiled to himself. And she says she doesn't like me. What a dishonest woman. The next day at work, Wen Xiaoyu was staring blankly, holding a water cup. Her colleague waved a hand in front of her face, calling her name. Wen Xiaoyu quickly responded, what's wrong? Just some gossip. Was a guy who picked you up yesterday your boyfriend? Wen Xiaoyu's face instantly turned red. She quickly waved her hands and, oh no. Why are you asking? Oh, nothing. I was just asking for someone. Then, the colleague shouted toward the door, Xiao Gao, you have a chance. Wen Xiaoyu doesn't have a boyfriend. Wen Xiaoyu was stunned. Xiao Gao also stood up shyly to Li Qingqing. Did you have to be so loud? Now the whole company knows. Li Qingqing slapped Xiao Gao's arm. Don't you like Wen Xiaoyu? I'm helping you, and you dare to yell at me? How bold of you. Wen Xiaoyu watched their bickering helplessly. Can you imagine? The domineering CEO Lu Chun actually has a love rival. After work, Wen Xiaoyu was organizing her files when someone called her name. It was Xiao Gao, inviting Wen Xiaoyu to dinner after work. Wen Xiaoyu was about to refuse when her phone suddenly rang. It was Lu Chun. He told Wen Xiaoyu he was right downstairs from her company. Wen Xiaoyu happily agreed. She turned and told Xiao Gao that she had plans. Xiao Gao shyly shook his head, saying it was okay and they could go another time. Wen Xiaoyu happily ran downstairs. As soon as she got downstairs, Lu Chun called out to her to hurry up and get in the car. In the car, Wen Xiaoyu asked Lu Chun where they were going. Lu Chun acted mysterious and said, you'll know when we get there. It turned out they were going to a roller skating rink. At the rink, Wen Xiaoyu seemed exceptionally happy. She asked Lu Chun, how did you know I can roller skate? Lu Chun said nonchalantly, I saw it on your old social media posts. Wen Xiaoyu came to a sudden stop in front of Lu Chun. Looks like I asked a redundant question. Xiaoyu skated backward, putting a few meters between her and Lu Chun. Wen Xiaoyu said happily to Lu Chun, I'm really good at roller skating. Lu Chun looked at the smiling Wen Xiaoyu. This was the first time he had seen her like this. She was so beautiful. Wen Xiaoyu waved her hands, calling out to Lu Chun, hurry up, snapping back to reality. Lu Chun's cheeks flushed slightly. Wait a minute, I'm coming. Lu Chun skated forward, but being unfamiliar with roller skating, his feet slipped and he was about to fall backward. Lu Chun felt his glorious image was about to be shattered. But suddenly, a pair of hands grabbed him. However, the strength wasn't enough. With a thud, they both fell to the ground. Lu Chun quickly took Wen Xiaoyu to a nearby clinic. Looking at the scrape on Wen Xiaoyu's knee, Lu Chen's face was full of self-blame. Wen Xiaoyu didn't want Lu Chun to feel too guilty and comforted him. "It's okay, it's just a scratch." Before Wen Xiaoyu could finish her sentence, the moment the antiseptic touched the wound, she felt a jolt and her whole body ached. Lu Chun glanced at Wen Xiaoyu, "And you said it's okay." The next time he applied the medicine, Lu Chen's movements were noticeably gentler. He even blew on the wound. Watching the serious Lu Chun, Wen Xiaoyu's cheeks turned even redder. When a domineering CEO comes to your home, will he leave so easily? Lu Chun took the bandaged Wen Xiaoyu downstairs. Watching Wen Xiaoyu hopping, Lu Chun asked with concern, "Are you sure you're okay?" Wen Xiaoyu turned around, stuck out her tongue, and made an okay sign with her right hand. But Lu Chun rushed forward and swept Wen Xiaoyu into his arms. "That I don't think you're okay." At the door to Wen Xiaoyu's apartment, Xiaoyu quickly asked Lu Chun, "Can you put me down?" But Lu Chun ignored her and ordered Wen Xiaoyu to open the door. Wen Xiaoyu lowered her head. "You can't come in." Lu Chun moved closer to Wen Xiaoyu. "I'll just put you on the sofa and leave." Wen Xiaoyu's cheeks were flushed, and she tacitly agreed to Lu Chun's suggestion. She slowly opened the door. Once inside, Wen Xiaoyu urged Lu Chun to leave quickly. But Lu Chun gradually moved closer to Wen Xiaoyu. Wen Xiaoyu quickly backed away. "What are you trying to do?" Lu Chun grabbed Wen Xiaoyu's hand. "You've already let the wolf in the door." Wen Xiaoyu told Lu Chun fearfully, "Calm down." "I'm very calm." Then, Lu Chun's face moved closer and closer. Wen Xiaoyu was so scared she squeezed her eyes shut and pushed Lu Chun away. "You can't do this." Lu Chun grabbed Wen Xiaoyu's hands and pinned her on the bed. "That can't do what?" With tears in her eyes, Wen Xiaoyu cried out, "Lu Chun, you can't do this. If you keep this up, I'm going to get angry." Lu Chun looked at Wen Xiaoyu and knew he couldn't be too hasty. He laughed and said, "I was just teasing you." But then he seriously told Wen Xiaoyu, "Remember, from now on, only I can enter this door." Wen Xiaoyu was a little surprised. Half a month passed. Wen Xiaoyu gradually adapted to her new job and got used to Lu Chen's daily invitations. She knew it was wrong to indulge in Lu Chen's gentleness, but she couldn't refuse. The only thing that was annoying was the man in front of her. Can you imagine? The domineering CEO Lu Chun had a new love rival. Wen Xiaoyu was being pursued by this puppy dog-like man. She had already rejected him many times, but he was still pestering her. Wen Xiaoyu said helplessly, "I really don't have feelings for you. Besides, this is the office. Your constant high-profile pursuit of me is affecting my work." But Xiao Gao quickly replied, "Then I'll be more low-key next time." Wen Xiaoyu was exasperated. Little did she know, her boss was silently watching all of this from behind. He then called Lu Chun, saying he was going to fire Wen Xiaoyu. Lu Chun quickly said, "You must be joking." The boss told Lu Chun that someone was pursuing Wen Xiaoyu in a high-profile manner at the company, which was affecting the work atmosphere. Lu Chun was instantly furious. Someone dared to pursue his woman right under his nose. He dropped his phone and rushed to the company. When it was time to get off work, Wen Xiaoyu packed her things, ready to leave. But suddenly, Xiao Gao appeared behind her with a whoosh, inviting Wen Xiaoyu to a movie. Wen Xiaoyu looked annoyed. "What's with this guy? How can I get rid of him?" She quickened her pace, trying to leave the office. But Xiao Gao was still chattering endlessly behind her. Li Qingqing on the side was speechless. What a clueless, straight-laced guy. How could anyone agree to this kind of simpering pursuit from Xiao Gao? Xiao Gao shouted at Wen Xiaoyu, "Do you have someone you like? Is that why you're rejecting me?" To make Xiao Gao give up, Wen Xiaoyu lowered her head and told him that she did have someone she liked. But Xiao Gao didn't give up. He puffed out his chest and said, "Who is he? We'll compete fairly. It's me. Please don't harass my girlfriend." Wen Xiaoyu didn't expect Lu Chun to be here. Lu Chun walked up and put his arm around Wen Xiaoyu. The scene fell silent for a moment. "He's so handsome." No wonder she said she didn't have a boyfriend. This is just making everyone jealous. The male colleagues were also complaining. Ever since Wen Xiaoyu arrived, the office has been like a cheesy romance drama. Li Qingqing, on the side, felt that Wen Xiaoyu's boyfriend looked a bit familiar. She looked down at the magazine cover on her desk and gently patted Xiao Gao's shoulder. "You should just give up. The difference in your league is too great. This nasty old man is just too much. He's trying every trick in the book to stop his grandson from being with the person he likes." After dinner, Lu Chun and Wen Xiaoyu were chatting by the roadside, unaware that they were being secretly secretly followed. Old Master Lu learned that Lu Chun and Wen Xiaoyu had been meeting almost every day for nearly a month. He directly asked Wen Xiaoyu to meet him at a coffee shop. Looking at the nervous Wen Xiaoyu, he said, "You should know why I asked you here, right?" Wen Xiaoyu lowered her head, not daring to look Old Master Lu in the eye because of Lu Chun. Old Master Lu said coldly, "You're still seducing Lu Chun. Was I not clear enough last time?" Wen Xiaoyu quickly stood up, "That I'm not seducing him." But Old Master Lu completely ignored Wen Xiaoyu's explanation and handed her a check. "Here's 2 million. Take the money and leave H City." Wen Xiaoyu looked coldly at the check and questioned Old Master Lu. "Do you think money can buy everything?" Then she tore the check to pieces. Old Master Lu was in disbelief. But when Xiaoyu slowly stood up, "Old Master Lu, you don't have to do this. I know what to do. I don't need you to use money to remind me how lowly I am." Back home, when Xiaoyu sat blankly on her bed, Lu Chun, "Thank you for giving me so much happiness. Meeting you is the luckiest thing in my life. But everyone thinks I don't deserve someone as good as you. I kept rejecting you, but you kept getting closer. Actually, my heart was moved long ago. But I'm a coward. I don't know if I should do certain things. Maybe separating is the best choice. I'm sorry, Lu Chun." When Xiaoyu gently placed a resignation letter on the table, she decided to leave H City. On the other side, Lu Chun received a call from the manager. When Xiaoyu had resigned and bought a train ticket to Y County for 3:50 p.m. After hearing this news, Lu Chun quickly got up and ran outside. In the car, he frantically called Wen Xiaoyu's phone. But all he got was no answer. Lu Chun didn't understand why Wen Xiaoyu would suddenly leave without a word. "What happened? I won't let you leave me like this. Can you imagine?" When Xiaoyu left without saying goodbye, Lu Chun gripped the steering wheel tightly, speeding towards the train station. Arriving at the train station, Lu Chun bought a train ticket as fast as he could. But when Lu Chun got to the carriage, he saw the crowded train and felt a bit troubled. Searching like this was not a solution. A train attendant next to him saw the pensive Lu Chun and quickly asked if he could help. Lu Chun anxiously asked the attendant, "I'm looking for my wife who ran away from home. We had a fight this morning, and she stormed out. The crucial thing is she's pregnant with our twins." The attendant was deeply moved by Lu Chun's story and said he would definitely find her. Lu Chun watched the attendant hurry away, secretly calculating, at most, it will take 5 minutes to find out where she's sitting. But when they found Wen Xiaoyu's seat, it was empty. The attendant quickly explained, "Your wife might not have boarded the train." Lu Chun sat in Wen Xiaoyu's seat. "She's not answering her phone," and left without a word. Could it be grandfather? Lu Chun quickly called his grandfather. "Where did you hide Wen Xiaoyu?" But Old Master Lu explained unhurriedly, "I did it for your own good. One day you'll understand." Hearing his grandfather's words, Lu Chun hung up the phone in a rage. Meanwhile, in a taxi, when Xiaoyu noticed something was wrong, she quickly asked the driver, "Are we going the wrong way?" The driver turned to look at Wen Xiaoyu. "Little girl, you finally noticed?" Lu Chun sat in his car, expressionless and dazed. Suddenly, his phone rang. It turned out Wen Xiaoyu had been kidnapped. They demanded Lu Chun bring 5 million in cash for her ransom. Wen Xiaoyu had to go alone. Lu Chun didn't believe Wen Xiaoyu was kidnapped and wanted to hear her voice first. But Wen Xiaoyu didn't want Lu Chun to walk into danger and chose to remain silent. The kidnapper angrily kicked Wen Xiaoyu to the ground. Lu Chun, on the other end of the line, heard the sound and warned the kidnapper, "If you touch another hair on her head, I'll send you to hell." Can you imagine? When Xiaoyu was kidnapped, the kidnappers demanded Lu Chun come alone with 5 million in cash to ransom Wen Xiaoyu. Lu Chun kicked the door open and, to the kidnappers' astonishment, threw down the 5 million in cash. But suddenly, a young punk lunged at Lu Chun from behind. Wen Xiaoyu quickly shouted, "Lu Chun, watch out!" But Lu Chun couldn't react in time and was knocked out with a club. Watching the kidnappers drag Lu Chun away, Wen Xiaoyu didn't understand. "I've already given you the money. Why do you still want to hurt Lu Chun?" Could it be they were never after the money? After the kidnappers left the room, Wen Xiaoyu looked at the unconscious Lu Chun and slowly approached. She gently planted a kiss on Lu Chun's cheek. But in that instant, Wen Xiaoyu's face turned bright red. She quickly pulled away. "What am I doing? What am I doing?" she muttered to herself. "Form is emptiness. Emptiness is form." A night passed. The exhausted Wen Xiaoyu fell asleep, leaning on Lu Chun's shoulder. When Lu Chun woke up, he saw the sleeping Xiaoyu. He gently kissed her hair, but he unexpectedly woke Wen Xiaoyu. Seeing Lu Chun awake, Wen Xiaoyu anxiously asked, "Does your head still hurt? That club looked so heavy yesterday." Lu Chun didn't answer. because you want to know why when Xiaoyu left. Was it because of my grandfather? When Xiaoyu looked at Lu Chun, conflicted. She didn't know how to explain. You answer my question first. Does her head still hurt? It hurts. It hurts because of you. When Xiaoyu fell into thought, Lu Chun moved closer to when Xiaoyu. I won't allow you to give up on me so easily. But Lu Chun, don't you understand? Looking at the serious Lu Chun, when Xiaoyu said hesitantly, I don't blame you. It's just that we're really not suitable. Were we not suitable? I like you. That's why I'm pursuing you so openly, so everyone can see we're a couple. Don't you understand? I really like you. When Xiaoyu's face flushed and she turned her head to the side, don't just confess so suddenly, okay? When Xiaoyu asked Lu Chun seriously, what exactly do you like about me? Actually, Lu Chun didn't know either. Maybe it was the slap you gave me. Maybe it was your crying face in the rain that day. Maybe it's the way you smile when you roller skate. When you like someone, why does there have to be a reason? When Xiaoyu shyly lowered her head, Lu Chun said happily, let's get married. In the bridal shop, Xiaoyu stood before Lu Chun, wearing crystal high heels. Do I look good? Lu Chun looked up, and his heart instantly skipped a beat. His face flushed that you're so beautiful. Xiaoyu, in her pure white wedding dress, looked like a princess. Her big, bright eyes were crystal clear. Lu Chun was full of confidence that I have to say, I have great taste. Xiaoyu, you're truly beautiful. Xiaoyu looked shy, really? Lu Chun looked at Xiaoyu with deep affection, about to kiss her. Xiaoyu turned and dodged. I'm gonna look at more. Xiaoyu happily twirled in front of the mirror. I can't believe I can be this beautiful. Lu Chun said narcissistically from behind her. Aren't we a perfect match, made in heaven? Remember not to wear heels that are too high. It'll make your husband, me, look even taller. Xiaoyu said sassily, you're already 185 centimeters. How much taller do you need to be? The sales assistant looked at them, thinking I want a love like that. I want to get married. Xiaoyu turned to the assistant and said, this one. Xiaoyu looked happy. This one is great. I'm very satisfied. Lu Chun saw through her little trick. I think you're just too lazy to try on anymore. Xiaoyu walked forward quickly. All wedding dresses look more or less the same. Besides, I look good in anything. Xiaoyu accidentally stepped on her dress and was about to fall. Lu Chun saw and perfectly cushioned Xiaoyu's fall. With a thud, they both fell to the ground. Coming to her senses, Xiaoyu looked worriedly at Lu Chun. Are you okay? What did you get hurt? Lu Chun whispered, my butt. My butt. Xiaoyu burst out laughing. Lu Chun got up and, when Xiaoyu wasn't looking, gave her a slap on the butt. How dare you laugh? Xiaoyu, blushing, said, what are you doing? Lu Chun moved closer and said flirtatiously, bullying you. He pushed Xiaoyu to the ground. Xiaoyu's face turned bright red. What are you going to do? Lu Chun kissed her. Xiaoyu was flustered, nervously clutching her wedding dress. Just then, Lu Chun's phone suddenly rang. Xiaoyu said shyly, your phone. Lu Chun was very angry. Who would call a time like this? He picked up the phone and said furiously, who is it? On the other end of the line, the old master said angrily, I hear you're marrying Xiaoyu. Do you even have any respect for me, your grandfather? Hearing that Lu Chun and Xiaoyu were getting married, the old master was instantly furious. Lu Chun silently listened to his grandfather's scolding. He said to Xiaoyu, come home with me to see Grandpa. Hearing they were going to see the old master, Xiaoyu looked worried. Lu Chun comforted her, don't be afraid. You just need to stand by my side. I'll handle the rest. In the Lu family villa, the old master roared, I told you to come back and see me. Who told you to bring this woman back? Lu Chun retorted, she's not this woman. She is my wife. The old master pointed at Xiaoyu and said, wasn't I clear enough last time? Must you force me to be unpleasant? Lu Chun shielded Xiaoyu behind him, that if there's anything, we can talk about it. I didn't bring her here for you to scold. No one can change my mind about the woman I've chosen. The old master looked disdainful, that I asked that so. But from what I see, she's not ready to enter the Lu family's doors. Xiaoyu was intimidated by the old master's presence. Lu Chun held Xiaoyu's hand that don't be afraid. I'm here. Lu Chun's comfort gave Xiaoyu courage. He's already being so brave. I can't be a coward. She tightly gripped Lu Chun's hand. Grandpa, Lu Chun and I are truly in love. The old master, seeing Xiaoyu dare to talk back to him, turned pale with anger. I love Lu Chun. I want to be with him. I'm not afraid of any difficulties we might face. The old master started coughing. Lu Chun quickly stepped forward to support him. He said worriedly, Grandpa, are you all right? The old master got angrier the more he thought about it. He slapped Lu Chun hard across the face. Lu Chun was stunned. Xiaoyu was also too scared to speak. The old master roared in fury, get out. If you insist on marrying her, then never call me Grandpa again. Lu Chun retorted. If you insist on not letting me marry Xiao Yu, then I also refuse to inherit the family business. I'm not interested in the group anyway. The old master was too angry to speak. Suit yourself. Xiao Yu, let's go. The old master's coughing worsened. Xiao Yu looked on, not knowing what to do. Just then, the old master suddenly collapsed. Xiao Yu rushed over to help him up. The old master showed no appreciation. He pushed Xiao Yu's hand away defensively. Get away from me. Don't touch me. Xiao Yu said loudly. Why must you be so prejudiced against me? The old master didn't answer. His hand was shaking violently. The medicine bottle slipped, and the pills scattered on the floor, landing at Xiao Yu's feet. Xiao Yu picked up the medicine and handed it to the old master. The old master refused. I won't take it. Xiao Yu said patiently, please don't be stubborn. No matter how much you hate me, take your medicine first. Then you'll have the strength to scold me. Looking at the medicine in Xiao Yu's hand, the old master accepted it. You unfilial son, you dare to come back? He forcefully threw a pill at Lu Chun. Lu Chun caught it easily. Lu Chun looked helpless. Grandpa, you're at such an old age. Can you please not be so willful? Xiao Yu, let's go. But Grandpa isn't feeling well right now. The old master gasped for breath. Who gave you permission to call me Grandpa? I haven't acknowledged you as my granddaughter-in-law. Lu Chun took Xiao Yu's hand and said angrily, we have nothing to say to this old stubborn fool. After the two left, the old master picked up the phone and said, Zimo, come back to the country. He only heard the other end of the line say, Grandpa, you finally remembered me. I thought you had forgotten about me. At the wedding venue, Xiao Yu was wearing a pure white wedding dress. Petals fell from the sky. Xiao Yu looked like an angel who had fallen to the mortal world. I'm about to marry someone I've known for less than 2 months. Everything I have at this moment surpasses all my imaginings of love. I'm sure this is the person I want to spend the rest of my life with. It's as beautiful as a dream, but the sensation is a very real reminder. This isn't a dream. This is real. Lu Chun said with concern, your hands are all sweaty. Are you nervous? I'm very nervous. Xiao Yu was puzzled. I can't tell you're nervous. I just feel you're very excited. Lu Chun put his arm around Xiao Yu and said, I can finally be with you officially. He held Xiao Yu and kissed her. The priest coughed awkwardly twice. A man with his legs crossed teased, this Lu Chun is really impatient. The woman next to him replied, you weren't much better back in the day. The man looked smug. Really? At this moment, the priest was reading the wedding vows. Lu Chun placed a ring on Xiao Yu's hand and whispered, I love you. Xiao Yu stared at Lu Chun, lost in thought. Lu Chun reminded her, what are you spacing out for? Put the ring on me. Amidst the laughter and cheers of the crowd, she put the ring on Lu Chun. Lu Chun leaned into Xiao Yu's ear and said, love me. Xiao Yu's face instantly turned red. Her heart raced. She was so nervous, she became incoherent. Lu Chun said gently, all right, I won't tease you anymore. We'll have plenty of time in the future. Lu Chun said, Xiao Yu, let me introduce you. This is Su Si. Next to him is his wife, Wei Wei. We were university classmates. Xiao Yu gave a polite smile. Hello. Su Si teased Lu Chun. Why don't you also mention that I'm also your wife's boss? Xiao Yu was confused, boss. You didn't know? To pursue you, Lu Chun arranged for you to be in my company and asked me to help keep an eye on you. Xiao Yu looked angry. Lu Chun, you spied on me? Lu Chun looked smug. We're already married. It's too late for you to back out. Wei Wei linked arms with Xiao Yu. All right, stop teasing her. When Su Si was chasing me, he also arranged for me to be in Lu Chen's company. They don't have any other tricks. Look at them. As soon as they get together, they forget about everyone else. Lu Chun said, I'm going to find my Xiao Yu. I'll talk to you later. He walked over to Xiao Yu and thoughtfully helped her massage her feet, wearing these high heels for so long. Are you tired? Xiao Yu was shy. There are so many people here. Lu Chun, be more mindful. Mindful of what? You're my wife. Silly. Lu Chun bent down and gently massaged Xiao Yu's feet. Seeing how sweet the two were, Wei Wei complained, Su Si, I'm jealous. Su Si replied with tacit understanding. Me too. Lu Chun has a wife and has forgotten about me. He'd even abandoned me. Wei Wei was extremely envious. Lu Chun is still the best. He always thinks about his wife, no matter what. As long as Lu Chun is around, you forget about me. You should just go be with Lu Chun. Su Si anxiously called out, wife, let me explain. Just then, Xiao Yu's mother ran over in a panic. Xiao Chu still hasn't arrived, and I can't reach her phone. What should we do? Xiao Yu's face was full of worry. It's already so late. Last night, she promised she'd definitely wouldn't be late. She quickly comforted her mother. It'll be fine. Xiao Chu isn't a child anymore. Xiao Yu worried and let her imagination run wild. Could something have happened? Lu Chan came over to comfort her that I've already arranged for people to look for her. Don't worry. Xiao Yu felt much more at ease. On the street, a girl walked while cursing. Such bad luck. It's all because of him. I missed my sister's most important wedding. A security guard approached and asked, Miss, is there anything I can help you with? Xiao Chu showed her invitation. I'm going to this couple's wedding. Seeing her sister, Xiao Chu immediately threw herself into her sister's arms and cried. I thought I'd never see you again, sister. Xiao Yu gently patted Xiao Chu. What happened? Tell your sister. Xiao Chu sobbed. I was hit by a motorcycle. Luckily, my bones are fine. Just a few scrapes. Xiao Yu was scared out of her wits. That guy even blamed me. I chased him and beat him up. In the end, he just rode off on his motorcycle. Xiao Yu said angrily, how could he do that? That's too much. Xiao Chu gestured, saying, before he left, he threw a lot of money at me. I'm the kind of person who can be bought off with money. Lu Chun, standing to the side, said, did you get the license plate number? I'll help you settle the score with him. Oh no, I completely forgot. Suddenly, there was a knock on the door. The three of them looked towards the door. Xiao Chu said angrily, it's him, brother-in-law. Quick, hit him. The man looked awkward, frozen in place. Why is this brat here too? Xiao Chu went up and kicked the man. The man screamed in fear. You got away just now. Now that you've delivered yourself to my door, don't blame me for being ruthless. The man said with a sincere attitude, I was in a hurry just now. I'm sorry. Just as Xiao Chu was about to speak, the man covered her mouth with his hand. All right. I've already apologized. Just don't hit me. He pulled Xiao Chu into a hug. He turned to Lu Chun and said, brother, I'm back. This must be my sister-in-law, right? Hello, sister-in-law. Xiao Yu looked awkward. Hello. Shouldn't you let go of my sister? The man endured the pain and said, this person is your sister? Your sister and I have a little misunderstanding. We need to resolve it. Due to an accident, Lu Zimo got entangled with Xiao Chu. Xiao Chu used all her strength to pinch, scratch, and bite. Lu Zimo covered Xiao Chu's mouth and said to Xiao Yu, your sister and I have a little misunderstanding. We need to resolve it. Lu Chun said coldly, it's good that you're back. Grandpa wants to see you. Go see him. Brother, did you miss me? Lu Chen's expression changed instantly. What do you think? Lu Zimo's face was full of disappointment. Xiao Yu looked at the two of them. Puzzled, aren't they brothers? Lu Zimo gave an awkward laugh. Xiao Chu and I will go entertain guests. See you later. See you later. Xiao Yu tugged on Lu Chen's sleeve. Lu Chun gently stroked Xiao Yu. You never mentioned before that you had a younger brother. Your relationship doesn't seem very good. Seeing Lu Chun remain silent, Xiao Yu sighed. It's okay if you don't want to talk about it. Lu Chun patiently explained to Xiao Yu, I will slowly tell you everything about me. We have a long future ahead of us. There's no rush right now. Xiao Yu smiled and said, okay, don't look so stern. Today is our wedding. Lu Chen took Xiao Yu's hand and kissed it as my lady commands. Lu Zimo pulled Xiao Chu along. Xiao Chu struggled desperately. You shameless scoundrel. Let go of me. Lu Zimo casually pinned Xiao Chu against the wall. His expression was furious. How much money do you want? Xiao Chu shouted, what do you mean? You're just trying to scam me for money. Don't think I don't know. You're still playing innocent after I've exposed you. Xiao Chu said playfully, you found me out. So what? I do want money. What you gave me before wasn't enough. And you even turn out to be my brother-in-law's younger brother. Isn't this fate? Lu Zimo looked completely helpless. Name your price. 800,000. Deal. At night, the wedding ended. In the bridal suite, Lu Chun was in the bathtub, his eyes alluring. How about a lover's bath? Xiao Yu said shyly, no. I don't want to. Lu Chen played with a rubber ducky. Yes, that's so? Well, I'm so disappointed. Xiao Yu's face was flushed that we've already done that. Why am I still so nervous? She suddenly remembered was because she had been drinking last time. Looking at the various red wines in the wine cabinet, Xiao Yu gave a seductive smile. Lu Chun was drying himself off. He looked at Xiao Yu in surprise. What's going on? He saw Xiao Yu's eyes were hazy. She was kneeling on the bed, holding a bottle of wine, her face flushed red, calling out seductively, Lu Chun. On their wedding night, Xiao Yu was drunk. Her usually clear eyes had become hazy and distant. Her fair cheeks were faintly tinged with red. She had an irresistible allure, making one want to get closer to her. Emboldened by the alcohol, Xiao Yu pounced on Lu Chun, and I like you so much. Meeting you has used up all my luck for this lifetime. Lu Chun said affectionately, "Silly girl. Your good luck has only just begun." Xiaoyu looked at Lu Chun, mesmerized. She was overcome with an urge to kiss him. Lu Chun smoothly picked Xiaoyu up, returned to the room, and turned off the light. That night, he never left her side. The next morning, Xiaoyu was in a frenzy, frantically brushing her teeth. "That I'm screwed. I'm going to be late for work." Lu Chun walked out of the room, yawning. "Are we really not going on our honeymoon trip? I'm so disappointed." Xiaoyu, with her toothbrush in her mouth, corrected him. "It's not that we're not going, it's that we'll go in 2 months. I just started at the company, and I'm still getting familiar with a lot of things." Lu Chun stroked Xiaoyu's shoulder. All right. My wife's work comes first, her husband's second." Seeing Lu Chun was a bit sad. Xiaoyu asked him, "What? Are you jealous?" Lu Chun wiped Xiaoyu's mouth. "Why would I be jealous of work? Just don't work yourself too hard." Xiaoyu hummed happily. Lu Chun picked up the ring. "And this, you have to wear it always. You're not allowed to take it off casually from now on, understand?" Lu Chun dropped Xiaoyu off downstairs at her company. "That I'm going to work." Lu Chun, his face full of happiness, said, "Give me a kiss before you go." Xiaoyu shyly gave him a kiss, making Lu Chun's face turn slightly red. She hurried out of the car. Lu Chun said worriedly, "Slow down." He rested his head on the steering wheel, his cheeks flushed. The air was filled with happiness. It's so good to have a wife. Xiaoyu arrived at the company and started her busy workday. Xiao Gao walked past her, holding a pile of documents. "What does it feel like when your grandfather lets an illegitimate son inherit the family business?" Zimo was surprised. "Why let me compete with my brother for the market? Let me inherit the family business. Your brother still can't see that woman for who she is. She's only after his money. He's even willing to give up the family business for her. Only when he's poor and destitute will he see her true colors." Zimo thought for a moment and remembered something. Xiaoyu's sister was trying to scam people on the street. "I saw her." The old master flew into a rage. "Indeed, I wasn't wrong about them. No one in that family is any good." Zimo was troubled. "T.O. gamble with the family business. Our own company will be the one to suffer. The price is too high." The old master said dismissively, "Money can be earned again. I'm just worried your brother will get hurt from being too deeply in love." Zimo replied, "I understand." "Grandpa." In the supermarket, the two happily shopped, full of love. Lu Chun dotingly stroked Xiaoyu's head. "Actually, I only know how to make scrambled eggs with tomatoes." Xiaoyu was extremely smug. "What? Are you admitting defeat before we've even competed?" Lu Chun was helpless. "Then I'll do the dishes." Xiaoyu thought to herself, "Perfect. I don't like doing dishes." Deal. Back home, Xiaoyu was watching TV. The true heir to the Lu group is not Lu Chun, but Lu Zimo, who has been studying abroad. As soon as the news broke, the gossiping crowd was all discussing the Lu family's affairs. "I heard Lu Zimo is an illegitimate son. This is clearly a family feud." Xiaoyu's face was full of worry that what's going on with these two brothers. No wonder Lu Chun has been so busy lately. That fool, Lu Chun. He doesn't tell me anything. Just as she was lost in thought, Lu Chun came up and flicked her on the forehead. "What are you thinking about?" Xiaoyu complained. "Something this big happened. Why didn't you tell me?" Lu Chun put his arm around her shoulder. "What's so big about this?" Xiaoyu said, "Big or small, I shouldn't have to find out from the news. Don't you know I'd worry about you?" Lu Chun stared blankly at the adorable Xiaoyu. "It's because I knew you'd worry that I didn't want to tell you. It wouldn't do you any good to know." Xiaoyu lowered her head in disappointment. "But aren't we husband and wife? Even though I can't help much, I still want you to know that I'll be with you to share everything, good or bad. I don't want you to carry it all alone." Lu Chun was moved after hearing this. He hugged Xiaoyu. "That I understand. My lady." Xiaoyu leaned on Lu Chun's shoulder, her face full of happiness. "If I accidentally go bankrupt in the future, please don't abandon me, my lady. I don't eat much. I'm very easy to raise." Being teased like this by him, Xiaoyu's face instantly turned red. "That you're never serious." Lu Chun pressed his advantage, pulling Xiaoyu in for a kiss. The condition for inheriting a $100 billion family business is to study management for 3 months. Would you be willing? Lu Zimo was annoyed by the stacks of documents. After just finishing 3 months of management studies, he was thrown here to look at documents. It's documents every day. So miserable. The secretary knocked on the door. "General manager, I'm coming in." Zimo complained. "Why is it you again?" The secretary put down a person-high stack of documents. "These are the materials that need to be signed today. Please review them, general manager." Zimo looked at the contracts, speechless. He stood by the window, looking at the scenery outside, feeling emotional. One must know how to balance work and rest. I need to relax. I'm going out to have fun. In a bar, Lou Zimo transformed into a playboy. He held a glass of cheap booze. A beautiful woman in a leopard print dress walked over. Handsome. Why are you all alone? Zimo was an old hand at this. I was waiting for you. The woman tried to seduce Zimo. Your hands are a bit restless. The woman said shyly, don't you like it? A waitress not far away heard a familiar voice. She took a closer look, and sure enough, it was him, Lou Zimo. At this moment, Zimo also spotted the waitress. It was actually Xiao Chu. What are you doing here? Xiao Chu sighed. It's true that enemies are bound to meet. What bad luck. Zimo got emotional, suddenly standing up. You scammed me out of 100,000. Now you're here trying to seduce someone again? Xiao Chu, having been taken advantage of, was very angry. Get your pig trotters off me. Zimo said domineeringly, I won't. Xiao Chu angrily slapped his hand away. I'm here to work part-time, not to find you. Don't be so full of yourself. So that's it, working part-time in a place like this. Xiao Chu turned and said, just pretend you didn't see me today. Not many people should know you're working part-time here, right? Xiao Chu was startled. He's not going to blab, is he? Zimo threatened. Tell me, what do you think would happen if I told your sister and mother about this? Xiao Chu said in frustration, what's your goal? Just say it. Zimo held out his hand. Give me back my 100,000. Xiao Chu was speechless. Bro, your family is so rich. You don't need this little bit. Zimo pressed his hand against her lips. I just hate being schemed against. You should be grateful I'm not making you pay 200,000. Xiao Chu was helpless. I've already spent all the money. Zimo took out a pen and paper. Write an IO. Xiao Chu was petrified on the spot. Zimo pointed at Xiao Chu. Hurry up and write. Xiao Chu reluctantly wrote. Even if I write it, I won't pay it back. How can I spit out the meat that's already in my mouth? Zimo walked out of the bar, exhausted. After being stirred up by Xiao Chu, he lost the mood to continue having fun. He took out his phone. Brother, sister-in-law's sister, is working as a waitress in a bar. Did you guys know? What's it like to run into your sister-in-law's sister at a bar? Lou Zimo, learning that Xiao Chu was working part-time at a bar, contacted Lu Chun. Brother, sister-in-law's sister is working as a waitress in a bar. Did you guys know? Lu Chun replied, send me the address. Aren't you curious why I'm at a bar? Before he could finish, he heard the beeping of the disconnected line. Zimo's face was full of disappointment. Oh, you hate me that much. He took out a cigarette and was about to light it when a roar came from behind him. Then a flying kick knocked him down. You trash. Didn't you say you wouldn't tell my family if I wrote the IOU? Zimo got up, holding his waist. Don't be ungrateful. As soon as he finished speaking, Xiao Chu bit Zimo's arm. Zimo screamed in pain. Lu Chun and Xiao Yu were rushing to the bar. Xiao Yu had a worried look on her face. Although Xiao Chu's grades aren't good, she's always been very sensible. Did she run into some kind of trouble? Lu Chun comforted her. Don't worry. We'll know when we get there. Xiao Yu felt much more at ease. Suddenly, a sharp pain shot through her abdomen. She cried out in pain. Lu Chun was startled. What's wrong? Xiao Yu clutched her stomach, unable to speak. Lu Chun pulled the car over to the side of the road. Xiao Yu said, my stomach suddenly hurts a lot. Lu Chun was worried. Don't be afraid. I'll take you to the hospital right away. What about Xiao Chu? Right now, no one is more important than you. Let's go to the hospital first. On the way, Xiao Yu's pain intensified. Lu Chun comforted her. We're almost at the hospital. Just hold on. Xiao Yu's voice was weak. Okay. Then her vision gradually blurred. She passed out. Lu Chun slammed on the accelerator. Xiao Yu, you have to be okay. The two arrived at the hospital. Xiao Yu was still unconscious. Lu Chun carefully took care of her, remembering what the doctor said. Lu, Mrs. Liu is pregnant, but her constitution is weak and she was emotionally agitated, which triggered the severe pain and fainting. In the future, you must pay more attention to her diet and lifestyle. The first to third months of pregnancy are when miscarriages are most likely to occur. Lu Chun looked at his phone, thinking, should I let him know about this? In the hospital, Lu Chun called his grandfather. I'm going to be a father. You're going to have a great grandchild. The old master said irritably, what? Do you need my blessing? I will not acknowledge that woman's child. I'm just informing you. As for whether you accept it or are happy about it, that's your business. After saying that, Lu Chun hung up, leaving the old master fuming with rage. He almost smashed his senior-friendly phone. The phone rang again. The old master answered the phone irritably. Hello? Who is it? On the other end, the secretary replied, Chairman, the general manager has disappeared. Hearing more bad news, the old master became even more agitated. What do you mean, disappeared? I thought he had changed. Sure enough, he can't behave for more than a few days. The old master roared, "Find him for me immediately. Tie him up and bring him back if you have to. When you're sick in bed, it must be very blissful to have someone by your side taking care of you." Xiaoyu woke up from her coma. Looking at the man before her, her face was full of happiness. Xiaoyu gently stroked his hair. Lu Chan sensed Xiaoyu was awake. "When did you wake up?" "You were sleeping so soundly, I couldn't bear to wake you." Lu Chan said with concern, "Does your stomach still hurt now?" Xiaoyu replied, "It's much better. It doesn't hurt at all now." Xiaoyu suddenly thought of Xiao Chu. Lu Chen reassured her, "Don't worry. I've already called Zimo. He'll get Xiao Chu home safely." Hearing Lu Chen's words, Xiaoyu felt much more at ease. Lu Chen put his arm around Xiaoyu. "Dad, aren't you curious why your stomach hurt?" Xiaoyu asked why. Lu Chen, full of love, said, "Silly, you're pregnant." Xiaoyu subconsciously replied, "Oh." Just as she was seeing stars, she suddenly realized, "What? I'm pregnant? For real?" Lu Chen hugged her and said gently, "It's real." Xiaoyu was a little worried, "But I'm not ready yet." Lu Chen squeezed Xiaoyu's hand. "Don't worry. I'm here for everything." Xiaoyu leaned on Lu Chen's shoulder, both of them full of happiness. In the sports car, Zimo said angrily, "From today on, we're through. Let's go our separate ways. I never want to see a crude woman like you again." Xiao Chu said dismissively, "Fine by me. Just give me back the IOU. Still thinking about money at a time like this? I refuse to give it to you." Xiao Chu switched to scoundrel mode. "Then I'll make sure you see me every day. And I'll hit you every time I see you." Zimo suppressed his anger that I don't hit women. "Don't force me." Xiao Chu stuck out her tongue and said smugly, I'm so scared." Zimo, push her face away. "Stop messing around. Sit properly." Just then, Zimo saw someone tailing them in the rearview mirror. He executed a drift, trying to shake off the tail. Unexpectedly, Xiao Chu didn't have a firm grip and was thrown onto Zimo's lap. She yelled, "What are you doing? Do you even know how to drive? Who told you not to wear your seatbelt?" Then he gripped the steering wheel and executed another drift. Xiao Chu was seeing stars, cursing under her breath. "You just wait till I get out of the car. I'm going to beat you to death, you bastard." Zimo looked at the tail behind them. "That IT won't be that easy to catch me." Suddenly, Xiao Chu mumbled that she felt like throwing up. Before Zimo could react, Xiao Chu heaved. It all landed on Zimo. At the same time, Zimo's car was surrounded. A love that crosses class, divides, will ultimately face great resistance. In the Liu family villa, two people knelt before the old master. Zimo cried aggrievedly, "Grandpa, if you wanted to see me, you could have just called. You didn't have to tie me up." The old master was furious. "You didn't finish the task I assigned you, and you still dared to go out and have fun?" Zimo was surprised. "Sister-in-law has a baby. Then I'm going to be an uncle." Xiao Chu thought to herself, "He calls him grandpa, so they're family. That scared me." She smiled broadly and flattered him. "So it's grandpa. I'm your grandson's wife's sister. That makes us relatives, too. You don't need to invite me along when you're disciplining your grandson, right?" The old master was furious. "Abominable. So you're Wen Xiaoyu's sister." Xiao Chu said with a grin, Yes. The girl who extorted 100,000 from Zimo." Xiao Chu was surprised. "You cheapskate. You're going to tattle to the family over such a small thing." Zimo glanced at her. "None of your business." The old master said with disgust, "I'm not surprised. After all, your sister also went to great lengths to marry Lu Chen. Now you're latched onto my Zimo. It seems your ambition is not small either." Xiao Chu thought, "It seems my sister is not well liked in the Liu family." Seeing Xiao Chu remain silent, the old master said sarcastically, "Why aren't you speaking? Overcome with shame? It's a good thing you're still young and have some sense of shame left. That's her skill. I was able to make Lu Zimo obediently give me 100,000. That's my skill. Wouldn't you agree with that logic?" The old master was so angry he slammed the table. Zimo lay on his side on the floor, making a call. "Hello? Brother, I heard sister-in-law is pregnant. How far along is she? When can I hold my little nephew? A niece would be best." The two looked at Zimo, speechless. Xiaoyu asked, "Honey, who's on the phone?" Lu Chun said, "It's a small matter. Didn't we agree I'd cook? You go out and rest." On the other end of the line, Lu Zimo said, "Brother, don't be so cold to me." Xiaoyu's face was full of happiness that I'm not that delicate. "Really?" Lu Chun, while chopping vegetables, said, "In my heart, you need to be protected. Always." The two leaned sweetly against each other. On the other end of the phone, Lu Zimo got a mouthful of their public display of affection. "Hello. Must you ignore me like this? What does it feel like when a man diligently studies recipes so you can eat delicious food? In the office, Lu Chun transformed into a doting prince. In order to make delicious food for Xiao Yu, he diligently studied recipes. Zhou Qishuan was stunned. Boss, a day has passed. Work is piling up like a mountain. How can you still be so calm? Lu Chun was engrossed in his reading. Oh, there's so much to learn about cooking. I'm thinking of entering the restaurant industry. Zhou Qishuan was speechless. As long as you're happy. Lu Chun picked him up. No, I'm not happy. The work is all yours. I'm going home to be a master chef. Xiao Yu was resting on the sofa when she heard a noise from the kitchen. She walked over and saw Lu Chun with a spatula, clattering and stirring the pan. The fish was about to fly out. Xiao Yu looked worried. Is this really okay? After a while, the door opened and Lu Chun walked out. Xiao Yu was a bit shocked looking at Lu Chun. Then she smiled and said, just cooking a meal. How did you get yourself so dirty? Seeing Xiao Yu's bright smile, Lu Chun also grinned, his face smudged. At the dinner table, Xiao Yu looked at the feast. Wow, this looks really good. Let me try this sweet and sour pork rib first. She took a bite and savored it. It's so delicious. Lu Chun said dotingly, I'm glad you like it. Xiao Yu asked, aren't you going to be a little proud after being praised? Lu Chun replied, I did my homework. It's impossible for it not to be delicious. Here, have some soup. Xiao Yu smiled, but after taking a sip, her face instantly changed. She immediately ran to the bathroom and started throwing up. Lu Chun gently patted Xiao Yu's back. Feeling better? Xiao Yu was completely drained. Let me recover. Lu Chun thoughtfully picked Xiao Yu up. That you've been throwing up everything you eat lately. How can your body take it? I have to think of something. He wanted Xiao Yu to lie down and sleep for a while, but Xiao Yu sat up. I can't sleep. Lu Chun stroked Xiao Yu's head. Rest well, then you'll feel better. Xiao Yu obediently got into bed. After leaving the bedroom, Lu Chun made a call. Su Si, I need your help. Su Si replied perfunctorily, let's talk later. It's not convenient for me right now. He casually tossed the phone aside. On the other end, Lu Chun said, did your Wei Wei have morning sickness when she was pregnant? Hello, are you there? Where did you go? He didn't hang up. He only heard a strange sound from the other end of the phone. Lu Chun was enjoying eavesdropping when Xiao Yu peeked her head in and asked, what business? Lu Chun was so startled, he jumped and his phone went flying. Because his wife was pregnant, the domineering CEO became a house husband at home. He tied on the good man special apron, picked up the shiny kitchen knife. The master chef has entered. Xiao Yu stared at Lu Chun with eager eyes, saying worriedly, you haven't been to the company for several days. Lu Chun replied coolly, I've arranged everything at the company. Don't worry. In the office, Zhou Qishuan was swamped with work. The unscrupulous boss was ignoring the company for his wife. Xiao Yu sat on the sofa, engrossed in a soap opera, munching on snacks. Xiao Yu looked at Lu Chun adorably. Lu Chun turned off the TV. Too much radiation. Watch less in the future. He then snatched the potato chips. In no nutritional value. You're not allowed to eat them. Xiao Yu was speechless at Lu Chun's behavior. That I really wish he would go to work. Just then, they heard a knock on the door. Lu Chun asked, what are you doing here? Zimo instantly became nervous. That I heard sister-in-law is pregnant, so I came to visit. During the meal, Lu Chun didn't forget to rub it in his single brother's face, crazily putting food on Xiao Yu's plate. Lu Chun's phone rang. It was actually her. Xiao Yu looked at Lu Chun, puzzled. The person on the other end said, Lu Chun, I'm back in the country. I heard you got married. Lu Chun replied coldly, don't call me again in the future. After hanging up, Xiao Yu asked curiously, who was that? Lu Chun replied with a cold face, not important. Xiao Yu replied with a doubtful oh. Zimo, while eating, said, this dish is way too sour. Lu Chun kicked him on the table. Zimo quickly flattered him. This food is so delicious. Xiao Yu chimed in, I think it's delicious too. Lu Chun's cooking skills are getting better and better. Zimo was shocked. And why brother made all these dishes? Xiao Yu happily replied yes. Zimo thought, my brother actually knows how to cook. He then switched to hungry wolf mode, leaving the other two speechless. How many days has this kid not eaten? After eating, he even patted his full belly and burped. Lu Chun yelled, who told you to eat so much? Sister-in-law isn't full yet. Zimo was instantly cowed by his glare. He repeatedly said, I'm sorry. Xiao Yu looked at the two and said awkwardly, I'm full. It's okay. The more Lu Chun looked at Zimo, the angrier he got. You should go back. When Zimo heard Lu Chun kicking him out, his face fell. Brother, do you hate me that much? Lu Chun answered firmly, yes. Zimo asked him why. There has to be a reason for hating me. His parents died in a car accident, and the culprit was his brother's mother. Zimo slammed the table and roared. After all these years, with no reason at all, Leaving me alone abroad is too unfair. What's the reason? You have to give me a reason for hating me. Ever since Mom and Dad passed away, you stopped talking to me. Lu Chun was getting annoyed. He stood up and yelled, "There is no reason. I just hate you." Hearing Lu Chen's firm words, Zimo shed aggrieved tears. He slammed his fist on the table. "Fine. I get it." He turned and left. Xiaoyu watched Zimo leave, not knowing what to say. Zimo pushed the door open. "Sorry to have disturbed you." Xiaoyu didn't know what to do. "Lu Chun, why do you hate Zimo?" "Zimo seems pretty nice." Lu Chun closed his eyes and pondered. "I've kept this matter in my heart for 20 years. When we were little, Zimo and I did everything together. Until I was 8, a woman came to our house. She knelt before my mother, crying and begging, 'Please, let me see Zimo just once.' We were best friends, after all." Xiaoyu holds Lu Chun, comforting him. There. It's all in the past. In a bar, Zimo sits in a corner, drinking heavily. A beautiful woman approaches to chat him up, but he waves her away. "I'm just a joke." Ha. Just then, a middle-aged man in a sharp suit walks over. "Young master, it's time to go home." Zimo looks at the man before him and slowly closes his eyes. At the Lu family villa, the old master is furious, pointing at Zimo. "What did I have you come back to the country for?" Zimo is dead drunk, showing no sense of crisis. "Why are you being so fierce?" "Annoying," the old master roars. "Get a basin of water and splash him awake." Zimo staggers to his feet. "It's raining outside. I'll go outside to sober up. You wait here." Then he quickly runs out. The butler asks, "Should we bring the young master back?" The old master is in a fit of rage. "No need." Zimo stands dazed in the rain. "Can anyone tell me what on earth I did wrong? If an elder ruined your love life, would you be upset?" Zimo collapses to the ground, his clothes soaked by the rain. People around cast strange glances at him. A beautiful young girl hums a little tune as she strolls in the rain. As she walks, she suddenly stops. "Eliu, Zimo, what's going on with you?" At the Lu family villa, the old master says to the butler, "Get Lu Zimo for me." The butler is nervous. "Young master, he didn't come back last night." The old master is instantly enraged. "What? Didn't come back all night?" The butler says quietly, "I've already sent people to look for him." The old master wipes his mouth. "What's the situation with Lu Chen lately? I hear he rarely goes to the company." The butler replies, "Yes. The young master hasn't been going recently because he's been taking care of Miss One." The old master thunders with rage, throwing a rag to the floor. "Nonsense. How precious. I'm going to pay him a visit." The butler is helpless. Why must he always pick on the children? The old master arrives at Xiaoyu's side, an oppressive aura instantly descending. Xiaoyu trembles. The old master asks, "Lu Chen isn't home." Xiaoyu nervously replies, "He went out to buy groceries." The old master stares at Xiaoyu. "You've got some real skill to actually make the great young master of the Lu Corporation drop his work to serve you tea and water. Do laundry and cook." Xiaoyu feels her skin crawl under his gaze. "Eliu Chun, please come back quickly." "Grandfather, I'll go pour you a cup of tea." Xiaoyu has just stood up when the old master says irritably, "No need." The atmosphere drops to freezing point again. Suddenly, the sound of a door opening is heard. Xiaoyu relaxes considerably. Lu Chen walks in carrying things and says, "Are you hungry? Dinner will be ready soon." Xiaoyu hurriedly leans in. "Grandfather is here." Lu Chen says happily, "Perfect timing. Let's eat together. Grandfather has never tried my cooking." The old master hears him mention cooking and flies into a rage. "Are you trying to anger me to death?" Lu Chun stops in his tracks. "What do you mean by that?" The old master spews curses. "You won't be a proper CEO, but you'll be a chef at home." Lu Chen calmly replies, "It seems grandfather doesn't really want to eat my cooking." The dinner table is silent. What a suffocating atmosphere. Someone, save the day. Lu Chen's phone suddenly rings. Several people look over at the same time. The old master glances at it. It's actually Jian Ran. Lu Chun hangs up directly. The old master asks, "Why didn't you answer?" Lu Chun says helplessly, "Why should I answer?" The old master grumbles mockingly, "Oh, Wen Xiaoyu, you'd better pray that Lu Chun can love you for a lifetime." Xiaoyu feels there's a story behind this. She feels very uneasy inside. What does grandfather mean by that? Lu Chun hears his grandfather stirring up trouble. He instantly gets worked up. "Can you just eat properly?" Xiaoyu looks at Lu Chun, feeling a bit upset. "Who was that call from just now?" The old master, green with envy, competes with his granddaughter-in-law for attention. In the kitchen, Lu Chun hums a little tune while washing the pot. The old master says sarcastically, Lu Chun takes very good care of you. Xiao Yu's expression changes slightly. She thinks, grandfather is starting to find fault again. Let me peel an apple for you. The old master takes the apple, bites into it, and slams it on the coffee table with a bang. Too sour. You better go mop the floor. I think the floor is a bit dirty. Xiao Yu picks up the mop. Isn't it quite clean? Just then, Lu Chun comes out of the kitchen. Seeing Xiao Yu mopping, he walks over and hugs her, saying thoughtfully, let me do it. The more the old master watches, the angrier he gets. How did the Lu family produce a simp like you? Lu Chun gets some mop water on the old master's foot while mopping. The old master gets even angrier. Lu Chun, what are you trying to do? Lu Chun is innocent. Mopping the floor, of course. Didn't grandfather say the floor was dirty? Must you defend when Xiao Yu like this? She is my wife, and she's pregnant now. Grandfather, you're at an advanced age. Can't you be a little more sensible? The old master is hopping mad that you're deliberately trying to anger me to death. How could I have a grandson like you? Lu Chun is helpless. What can be done? I am your grandson. There's no helping it. Xiao Yu sees the two of them bickering. An idea strikes her. She clutches her stomach and cries out, my stomach hurts so much. Lu Chun quickly goes forward and puts his arm around Xiao Yu. This is all you're doing. The old master turns his face away with a huff. At the hospital, the doctor scolds them. This is simply outrageous. A pregnant woman cannot be agitated. This will affect her. Don't you understand this basic fact? The old master is dismissive. Isn't she fine? Why make such a big deal out of it? I'm leaving. Lu Chun is worried, feeling a bit guilty. Actually, I was just pretending. Seeing you and grandfather arguing so fiercely, I came up with this idea. Lu Chun smiles smugly that I saw through it long ago. On the way, I conspired with the doctor. Otherwise, how would the doctor have cooperated with your performance? The two of them leave the hospital. Lu Chun carefully supports Xiao Yu. Be careful, it's slippery. Just then, Lu Chun's phone rings again. A girl on the other end says, Lu Chun, you're back in the country. Lu Chun takes 2 steps forward and says coldly, does that have anything to do with me? There's no need for us to meet again. He hangs up and says to Xiao Yu, let's go. Xiao Yu thinks about what Lu Chun just said. What does no need to meet again mean? Who was that call from? She cares so much and wants to ask him, but she can't bring herself to. The sense of security she's always had might be about to shatter. The first love he dated for 7 years suddenly appears. One is his newly married, pregnant wife. The other is the unforgettable love of his youth. How should he choose? Exquisite high heels, flowing purple hair, utterly enchanting. A tube-top mini-skirt paired with a trench coat, mature and sexy. Lu Chun is back. The person on the other end of the line says, he won't see you. Must you be so heartless? I'm already married. I love her very much. I don't believe it. Jian Ran angrily hangs up the phone that I refuse to believe it. The you who once loved me so much, how could you so easily fall in love with someone else? You Lu Chun can only be mine. Inside Jian Ran's company, Jian Ran teases Zhou Qixuan that I already told you President Lu isn't here. You can't find him, so there's no need to make things difficult for me. I have a lot of work to do. I don't have time to play with you. Jian Ran says confidently, I don't care. I believe you have a way to make Lu Chun appear here. Zhou Qixuan helplessly picks up his phone. Hello, boss. President Wang is at the company. He wants to discuss cooperation details. Lu Chun says, I'm on my way now. Xiao Yu is at his side, thinking, is he going to see that person? Lu Chun dotingly strokes Xiao Yu's head that I'm going to the company to handle some business. I'll be back later. Alone at home, Xiao Yu starts to let her imagination run wild. She clearly wants to go over and see, but she's afraid Lu Chun wouldn't want her to. I'm so scared. Is it going to be like with Qin Li Hua before? Xiao Yu suddenly sits up. I can't keep overthinking. My head is about to explode. But Xiao Yu still can't help overthinking and starts to cry, feeling wronged. Just then, the phone suddenly rings. It's her mother that we made a lot of dumplings at home. I want to bring some over for you. Are you home? Xiao Yu says, I'm home, Mom. Her mom says, I'm coming over now. Xiao Yu thinks a bad mood will affect the baby. She immediately says to her mom, how about I come home to eat? Her mom says happily, okay, bring Lu Chun along. Xiaoyu's face is full of disappointment. Liu Chun has been very busy these few days. I won't bring him with me. At the company, Lu Chun says angrily, Zhou Qishuan, you actually dared to lie to me. Zhou Qishuan cries aggrievedly, what choice did I have? It's so hard to be a person. Jian Ran sits in a chair, elegantly sipping coffee. Long time no see. Your bond is still as strong as ever. Lu Chun walks closer and says, what on earth are you trying to do? Jian Ran stands up. Isn't it clear what I'm trying to do? To confirm if you, this man, still love me. She then reaches out to touch Lu Chun. Lu Chun dodges in disgust. Jian Ran, let it go. So many years have passed. I'm not the same Lu Chun I was back then. The moment you gave me up for money, I made up my mind to no longer hold any illusions about you. Jian Ran turns her head to Zhou Qishuan and says, step out for a moment. There are some things I want to say to him alone. Zhou Qishuan is very grateful to her. He doesn't want to experience this kind of scene. Lu Chun stops Zhou Qishuan, turns to Jian Ran, and says, I have nothing to say to you. You're on your own. Jian Ran says anxiously, Lu Chun, stop. Aren't you the least bit curious why I left you back then? Your ex-girlfriend of 7 years comes back to win you over. What would you do? Just now, Jian Ran saw Lu Chun leaving and got anxious that aren't you curious why I left? Lu Chun replies heartlessly, not curious. Hearing his firm tone, Jian Ran is suddenly a bit dejected. Xiaoyu sits in the taxi, her mind racing, leaving without a word. Lu Chun won't be angry, will he? Should I tell him I've gone home? Suddenly, Xiaoyu's phone buzzes, making her jump. Xiaoyu, I'm at the supermarket. What do you want to eat today? Hearing Lu Chen's words, Xiaoyu gets a little nervous. I'm on my way home. Mom made dumplings. I was just about to call you. The moment Lu Chun hears there are dumplings, he instantly turns into a little glutton. I'll be right over. Lu Chun looks at Zimo, a bit annoyed. Finish this meal and go home quickly. Don't cause trouble at your mother-in-law's house. Xiaoyu's mother defends him. How could he be trouble? Zimo was very well behaved and helped me a lot. Lu Chun, don't be so strict. Xiao Chu says irritably, Mom. Are you talking about the love dumplings Lu Zimo helped make? Lu Zimo retorts, and didn't you make some shockingly unconventional mushroom dumplings? Xiao Chu can't win the argument and shoves a love dumpling directly into his mouth. Lu Chun puts a dumpling on Xiaoyu's plate and says irritably to Zimo, you should hurry back to grandfather's place. Zimo replies, I'm not going to grandfather's. I'm going back to America in a few days. Lu Chun is surprised to hear this, but that's fine too. Actually, I came back this time for my brother. It seems brother hates me as much as ever. On second thought, I should just give up. Anyway, I'm used to being alone in America. Xiao Chu sees Zimo like this and thinks, he was just like this the last time I saw him. So the reason he's unhappy is Lu Chun. I thought he'd had his heart broken. At this moment, Xiaoyu is also thinking, they're both clearly unhappy, yet they have to pretend to be relaxed. These two brothers are so alike. The grudges of the previous generation are affecting the next. Is it really worth it? Xiaoyu looks at Zimo. Before you go back to America, do you have any unfulfilled wishes? For example, is there any gift you want, or something you'd like to eat, or anything else? Zimo falls into thought. A wish. I only have one wish. Brother, did you know? Even though Mom never liked me since I was little and Dad didn't care about me, you were the only one who was good to me. I've always considered you the most important person. But why did you drive me away later? Without even a reason. Lu Chun sighs and says, some things just don't have a reason. You have your own life. Why be so fixated on this matter? Xiaoyu looks at Lu Chun with concern. Even though he's very upset, he doesn't want to burden Zimo. She touches Lu Chen's hand. Zimo, now that you've let it all out, do you feel much better? Let bygones be bygones. If you repeatedly agonize over the same thing, doesn't that mean the direction was wrong from the start? Hearing his sister-in-law's words, Zimo ponders for a moment. He seems to have figured something out. Lu Chun looks at Xiaoyu gently, thinking, you're the one who understands me. At this moment, Xiao Chu is a little unhappy that we were having a nice meal and you ruined the atmosphere. Zimo stands up and says, thank you for the meal. I've finished the dumplings. I'm going back to America now. He then turns to leave. Xiaoyu turns to look at Lu Chun. Aren't you really going to ask him to stay? Then she says to Zimo, wait a minute. As soon as the words are out, Lu Chun shouts loudly, Lu Zimo. Actually, I think with you messing up grandfather's company, grandfather has become busier and has no time to manage me. It seems pretty good. Hearing Lu Chen's words, Zimo, thinks he can't resist mocking me even as I'm about to leave. But on second thought, it seems that's not what he meant. Lu Chen catches up and says, if you go back to America, you'll just mess around with those good-for-nothing friends of yours again. You might as well stay here honestly. After hearing these words, Zimo is completely baffled. What does that mean? Xiaochu is beside them. She yells, you idiot, brother is telling you not to go. An ex-girlfriend returns to steal your man, using tricks to lure you out. What should you do? In a coffee shop, Jian Ran turns to look at Wei Wei. Long time no see. A smile appears on Wei Wei's face that you're really back. Well, I got your call. I still couldn't quite believe it. Jian Ran smiles and says, now you believe it, right? You're seeing me in the flesh. Jian Ran gets straight to the point. Actually, there's something I need your help with. Before she can finish, Wei Wei's face flushes oh, I have to go to the restroom first. Wait for me. Jian Ran watches her rush off. Go on. Wei Wei accidentally drops her phone. Ran, can you pick it up for me? Thanks. Just then, a text message arrives. Jian Ran takes a look. It's from Wen Xiaoyu. Wen Xiaoyu? Isn't that the woman who married Lu Chen? I was just looking for you, and you delivered yourself to my doorstep. She picks up the phone and looks at the chat history between Wei Wei and Xiaoyu. A bold idea forms in Jian Ran's mind. Xiaoyu is at home, leisurely reading a book. The phone suddenly rings. Wei Wei, what's up? This isn't Wei Wei. Jian Ran says confidently, let me formally introduce myself. I'm Jian Ran, Lu Chen's first love. He's probably mentioned me to you, right? Tomorrow at 2:30 p.m., 4th floor of Chuxiao Plaza. Let me treat you to coffee. I think we have a lot to talk about. Lu Chen asks curiously, what did Wei Wei want? Xiaoyu tries to cover it up. Nothing. Just reminding me to pay attention to my diet and daily routine. Not bad. Su Si has taught her well. Xiaoyu lies on Lu Chen's lap. What Jian Ran said has her lost in thought. Lu Chen sees Xiaoyu looking gloomy. Why do you seem to have something on your mind? Xiaoyu says, I don't. In the coffee shop, Wei Wei, back from the restroom, fiddles with her phone. Jian Ran says, order whatever you want to eat. My treat. No cilantro, no chili, no onions, no tomatoes. You're really hard to please. How's your Su Si put up with you? Wei Wei, taking a selfie, says, he's willing to spoil me. None of your business. Lu Chen used to spoil you a lot too. You're the one who didn't seize the chance. Jian Ran slams the table in anger. Wei Wei is startled. My dear friend, you can't be impulsive. Jian Ran says arrogantly, I just used your phone to call Wen Xiaoyu and ask her to meet tomorrow. Wei Wei is shocked. Oh my god, are you crazy? Lu Chen is already married. You're not thinking of rekindling things with him, are you? Why not? Lu Chen was mine to begin with. Wei Wei is helpless, but I feel like Lu Chen really likes his wife. If Lu Chen finds out, he will definitely hate you. Then you won't even be able to be friends. Alright, approaching Wen Xiaoyu directly is too risky. I can't make the appointment this time. I might as well go find the old master first. For 2 million, this woman left her first love. Now a billionaire, she returns just to get his approval. Today, she is going to meet an important person. That is, her first love's grandfather. Jian Ran greets him politely. Grandfather, long time no see. The old master crosses his arms. I thought you wouldn't come back. Jian Ran takes out a bank card and says, this is 100 million. I won. You shouldn't object to me and Lu Chen being together anymore. The old master says firmly, a bet is a bet. I will no longer stop you and Lu Chen from being together. However, you know Lu Chen is married now, right? Jian Ran takes off her glasses. That I know. Well, I made the bet with you. I was prepared for this. Now that I'm back, I have a way to make Lu Chen fall in love with me again. Compared to Wen Xiaoyu, I'm more suitable to be your granddaughter-in-law, right? Do you now regret breaking us up back then? The old master closes his eyes in thought. For a moment, yes. After all, Lu Chen loved you so much back then. I forced you apart, and he was depressed for a long time because of it. Later, he even became promiscuous. You came to see me today. It's not just to ask for my opinion, is it? Jian Ran is full of confidence. Of course. To me, you are the person Lu Chen respects the most. If I don't have your blessing, I won't be with Lu Chen. What I want must be perfect. After hearing this, the old master stands up. Then you and Wen Xiaoyu can compete on your own merits. If you can win against Wen Xiaoyu, I will no longer stop you from entering the Lu family's doors. After speaking, he prepares to leave. After taking 2 steps, he turns back and says, keep the bank card for yourself. It hasn't been easy for you all these years. Watching the old master leave, Jian Ran stops the voice recorder. Wen Xiaoyu, Even the old master has agreed. Let's see how you can compete with me. In the coffee shop, a waiter walks over and says, Miss, I'm sorry. We're closing. Xiaoyu is engrossed in her book. She glances out the window. As she walks, she thinks, why didn't she come? Did Lu Chun warn her not to look for me? To prevent me, a pregnant woman, from getting agitated? As she thinks, she becomes agitated. Just then, someone behind her shouts her name loudly. She turns around to see Lu Chun. Lu Chun roars furiously. Why didn't you answer my calls? Do you know how worried I was about you? Xiaoyu is flustered by his domineering tenderness that I forgot my phone when I left. I'm sorry. Seeing Xiaoyu, Lu Chun feels wronged and hugs her. Silly girl. No matter what, you can't let me be unable to find you. Do you understand? Xiaoyu is puzzled. How did you find me today? Lu Chun says mysteriously, let me tell you, pregnancy brain is real. It's really true. It seems I can't let you run around randomly in the future. Hearing Lu Chun call her dumb, Xiaoyu instantly becomes a little unhappy. Lu Chun doesn't notice. He says jokingly, I think I'm starting to regret it a little. How did I marry such a dumb wife? Hearing this, Xiaoyu's sense of security completely vanishes. Thinking of the call from Jian Ran, Xiaoyu's tears stream down. Crying, she says to Lu Chun, it's not too late for you to regret it now. Xiaoyu's tears fall like rain. Lu Chun knows he's messed up. He repeatedly says, I'm sorry, explaining that he was just joking. From then on, Jian Ran became a constant worry for Xiaoyu. The birth of fraternal twins is a happy occasion. Lu Chun has one in his left arm and one in his right. Mommy, time to feed us. Xiaoyu enters berserk mode. Give me 5 minutes. Lu Chun says, okay. Xiaoyu runs frantically on the treadmill, moving so fast she becomes a blur. Lu Chun says to the babies, let's not look at mommy. That silly woman will get dumber. You need to learn from daddy's intelligence. Hearing their dad speak ill of their mom, the babies spit their pacifiers right at him. The pacifiers hit Lu Chun, making him see stars. After a while, the two babies are sleeping quietly. Lu Chun asks, are you really going to work tomorrow? Xiaoyu rocks the cradle. I've already arranged for a maternity nurse. It's time to go out and earn money for milk powder. Mainly, I'm getting a bit restless staying at home. Lu Chun picks up Xiaoyu. Wife, you're amazing. Xiaoyu is Lu Chun. What are you doing? Lu Chun leans in and says, the little ones are finally asleep. What do you think I want to do? Lu Chun carries Xiaoyu back to the room. Who knows what they went to do? The next day, Xiaoyu arrives at the company. A colleague says with a smile, oh, Xiaoyu is back. Your body has recovered nicely. It's like you never even had a baby. Xiaoyu replies politely, I worked so hard to lose weight. Of course I recovered well. At this moment, Jian Ran has been eavesdropping nearby for a while. You're Xiaoyu. Xiaoyu is puzzled. The person introduces herself. I'm Jian Ran. Hearing this name is like a bolt from the blue for Xiaoyu. Jian Ran says forcefully, come with me. Xiaoyu is somewhat breathless, suppressed by her powerful aura. Soon, the two arrive at the pantry. Jian Ran says, I'm Lu Chen's ex-girlfriend. Xiaoyu says, I know. Jian Ran is irritated. You know everything? Xiaoyu hears that she's here to stir up trouble. That's right. Miss Jian, if you have something to say, just say it. Don't beat around the bush. Seeing her firm attitude, Jian Ran takes out the old master's recording. Do you now regret breaking us up back then? The old master closes his eyes and says, for a moment, I did have some regrets. After all, Lu Chun loved you so much back then. I forced you apart, and he was depressed for a long time because of it. Later, he even became promiscuous. Xiaoyu is dazed, thinking that's grandfather's voice. Jian Ran pauses the recording that I left Lu Chun back, then only because I wanted to marry into the Lu family more legitimately. So, I used the 2 million grandfather gave me to force me to leave to make a bet with him. If I could turn that 2 million into 100 million, it would prove I was outstanding enough, and grandfather wouldn't stop me and Lu Chun. Grandfather agreed. The only thing I overestimated was my place in Lu Chen's heart. I thought he would wait for me forever. Xiaoyu slams down her water cup. Why are you telling me all this? Are you expecting me to give Lu Chun to you? Jian Ran sees Xiaoyu's disdain. Lu Chun doesn't know all this yet. If he knew, what do you think he would do? Xiaoyu says angrily, that's between you and him. Besides, you need to be clear about one thing. Lu Chun and I are the legally married couple. And he can't go back to how things were. Hearing this series of critical hits, Jian Ran says, when Xiaoyu, you really have a silver tongue. Xiaoyu turns and replies, you flatter me. Jian Ran provokes again. I've already asked Lu Chun to meet me tonight to tell him everything. Xiaoyu turns back and yells, he won't go. Just give up. The CEO's wife is hit in a hit and run. In the evening, Xiaoyu sits on the sofa calling Lu Chun. Hello, the number you have dialed cannot be reached. Please try again later. The call won't go through. Xiaoyu starts to overthink again that he went to see his ex. Coming downstairs, Xiaoyu asks the maternity nurse, Annie, where's Uncle Chun? The nurse says, it seems something came up at Uncle Chen's home. He took the day off. Ma'am, are you going out? I can find a driver for you. Xiaoyu thinks for a moment, no need. I'll get a taxi myself. Watching Xiaoyu leave, the two babies start to cry. Xiaoyu walks downstairs, looking left and right. Why are there no cars? As she is anxiously searching, a taxi appears on the opposite side of the road. She runs towards the taxi. Suddenly, a car speeds towards her. Xiaoyu sees the car and freezes. Then her vision becomes blurry. The driver gets out to check that I think I hit someone. He is scared and at a loss. The person in the passenger seat complains. Who told you to drive at night without your lights on? What do we do now? How about we run? There are no cameras here. The two agree and flee the scene, leaving Xiaoyu alone, lying in a pool of blood. A moment later, a strange man walks over and carries Xiaoyu to his car. At the company, the meeting is still in progress. Lu Chun complains, you had to drag me over here. You could have decided this yourself. Zhou Qishuan says, don't be like that, boss. I'm just thinking of the company's best interests. Lu Chun suddenly remembers, where's my phone? I haven't seen it all afternoon. Did you take it to play games again? Zhou Qishuan grins mischievously. Hee, the battery was dead. I'll go charge it for you right now. Lu Chun is agitated. Hurry up. At this moment, Lu Chun is getting impatient that if Xiaoyu can't reach me for this long, she'll definitely be worried. No, I can't wait. He stands up and says to everyone, you all continue the discussion. Take a meeting notes. I have something urgent and have to leave. Back in his office, he grabs his phone and need to charge it. I'm going home. Why are you in such a hurry? Lu Chen's face is full of worry. He has a feeling something bad is going to happen. A girl's life begins to turn around after a car accident. Lu Chun rushes home. Where's Xiaoyu? The maternity nurse has a worried look. Sir, ma'am went out. It seems she went to find you. Lu Chun becomes nervous. When did she leave? I think she's been gone for over an hour. Didn't you run into each other? The more Lu Chun hears, the more anxious he gets. He picks up the landline and calls Xiaoyu, but the other end keeps ringing with no answer. Lu Chun thinks, what's going on? Why isn't she answering the phone? At this moment, Xiaoyu feels like she's in a state of chaos, feeling extremely unwell. On the hospital bed, she is unconscious, her face covered in wounds. The doctor says to the man, Mr. M.O., this young lady's injuries are too severe. I'm afraid she won't make it. The man says calmly, you must save her. Lu Chun can't find Xiaoyu. Everyone is frantic. Susi asks anxiously, any news? Lu Chun sighs. Not a single piece of news. We've reported it to the police, but there are no results yet. Wei Wei wonders, did Xiaoyu go home? Lu Chun shakes his head. Zhou Qishuan asks, did you two have a fight? Lu Chun shakes his head again. Susi says, I've asked people to help look. There should be news soon. Lu Chun is listless. Thanks. In the hospital, Xiaoyu lies on the bed with her face wrapped in bandages. The doctor reports the situation to Mr. M.O. beside her. This young lady is temporarily out of danger. It's just that she has too many wounds on her face. She might be disfigured. Mr. M.O. asks, can it be fixed? The doctor says, there's some hope, but I'm afraid her face will look different from before. Mr. M.O. says, if it can be fixed, then stop the nonsense. Then he turns and leaves. After he comes out, a girl follows him. Why are you helping her? Is it because she looks like Sister Xiqian? Mr. M.O. is lost in thought. It's a pity that face is ruined. The girl says cutely, maybe it will look even more like her after it's fixed. How about I talk to Dr. Lin and have him make this sister look like Sister Xiqian? Mr. M.O. strokes her head, and no matter how similar, she won't be Xiqian. When she wakes up, she still has to go back to her original life. Understand. The girl says mischievously, believe it? I don't believe it. Since Sister Xiqian, this is the first time I've seen you care about another woman. You'll be willing to let her go. At this moment, Xiaoyu is gradually waking up, tightly gripping the bedsheet, weakly calling out, Lu Chun. Lu Chun is also desperately searching for her. At the M.O. family villa, Xiaoyu has been lying unconscious in bed for 3 days and 3 nights. Waves of sharp pain come from her body. She slowly opens her eyes. Her vision is a bit blurry, then gradually becomes clear. She tries to prop herself up to sit, but a sharp pain stimulates her nerves. Just then, a man walks in and says, "I'd advise you not to move." Everything before Xiaoyu is unfamiliar. How did I get here? Who are you? The man introduces himself. My name is Mo Bayan. This is my home. Xiaoyu struggles to pull back the covers. I want to go home. Mo Bayan advises, "You're very weak right now. You can't go anywhere." Xiaoyu stubbornly rushes out, walking with difficulty. Lu Chun, why aren't you answering my calls? Did you go to meet your ex? Did you forgive her? Then what about me? Xiaoyu reaches the door. A sport car stops in front of her. Mo Bayan says, "Get in. Where do you want to go? I'll take you." Soon, the two arrive downstairs at Lu Chen's company. Xiaoyu says, "Thank you." Just as she gets out of the car, Xiaoyu freezes on the spot. The scene before her is heartbreaking. Mo Bayan sees her not moving. What's wrong? She sees Lu Chun and Jian Ran walking out of the company together. Xiaoyu's heart is completely broken. Jian Ran sees that Lu Chun has looked haggard recently. She thoughtfully straightens Lu Chen's tie. Unfortunately, this exact scene is seen by Xiaoyu. Seeing their intimate behavior, the weaker doesn't dare to go forward. Mo Bayan asks, "Are you still getting out?" Tears stream down Xiaoyu's face. She gets back in the car. Mo Bayan sees her so heartbroken, not knowing how to comfort her. He hands her a pack of tissues. Xiaoyu takes the tissues and says, "Thank you. What are your plans now? So much has happened in just a few days." Xiaoyu is very confused. I don't know. In my current state, what can I do? Tears of grievance stream down. Mo Bayan says, "Then let's go back first." At this moment, Lu Chun is a little angry. Jian Ran, it's already impossible between us. Jian Ran sees how serious he is and quickly says, "I'm sorry. I just saw that you've been looking for Xiaoyu these past few days. You've been working so hard, so I wanted to help you tidy up. You used to be the neatest person." Just then, the phone suddenly rings. Lu Chen answers with great anticipation. "Susi, is there any news?" The person on the other end says, "I have no news at all on my end. Someone must have done something. Otherwise, how could we not even find a single person? Are you saying someone is deliberately preventing us from finding Xiaoyu?" Lu Chun hangs up and glances behind him, scaring Jian Ran so much her face turns pale. "You think I did it? Don't you know what kind of person I am?" Hearing her words, Lu Chun instantly calms down, thinking that she indeed wouldn't do such a thing. He puts his hands in his pockets and says, "Stop following me." At this moment, Lu Chen's face is haggard. "Xiaoyu, I will definitely find you." 1 month later, at the Mo family villa, Xiaoyu on the bed looks out the window. It's been so long, and he hasn't come to find me. Is he really with Jian Ran? At this moment, Mo Bayan stands at the door, feeling uneasy that it's been a month. "Do you still think he'll come looking for you?" Xiaoyan stands mischievously behind him. "Peeking again, are we?" Mo Bayan's expression is serious. He turns to leave. "What's with you? You clearly care, but you won't let anyone say it." Mo Bayan suddenly stops, scaring his sister into trembling. "How was the thing I asked you to check on?" Still no move from Lu Chun. Xiaoyan answers nervously, "That's right. If there were any moves, I would have told you long ago." She says in a disdainful tone, "I think he's fallen for someone else 9 times out of 10. Poor Sister Xiaoyu." Mo Bayan's mood seems to have improved a little. He says casually, "I know," and then turns to leave. After Mo Bayan leaves, Xiaoyan gently pats her chest. "Oh my God, my first time lying in my life. That really scared me to death. Everything I've designed so carefully is for your happiness, big brother. It's really not easy for me." Xiaoyan turns her head to look inside the room. "I won't let him find you. You should just obediently stay and be my sister-in-law. Why must you be so fixated on that man? My brother is so great." Xiaoyu stands by the window, lost in a myriad of thoughts. It's been so long. Why haven't you come to find me yet? Is it that you never intended to look? With your capabilities, how could you not find me? Have you two really rekindled your old flame? Or do you not like me anymore? Mo Bayan walks up to Xiaoyu and drapes a coat over her. The wind is strong. The wound could get infected. Xiaoyu's expression is dejected. "Thank you. I want to ask you a question." Mo Bayan says, "Go ahead. If you had an ex-girlfriend who loved you very much, and you broke up for some reason, later you got married, and that ex-girlfriend came back, would you get back together with her?" Mo Bayan thinks for a moment. "You should know him very well. Can't you guess what he would do?" Xiaoyu says with low self-esteem, "I only know that they are both very outstanding. They seem to be a better match." Mo Beiyin says coldly, no, you are no worse than others. It's just that they are clearer about what kind of person they want to become. Xiaoyu feels a bit dejected after hearing this, muttering, what kind of person to become? I don't think I've ever thought about this question. When I was in school, I wanted good grades. When I was working, I wanted to get a bigger bonus. Mo Beiyin replies, the reason you feel inferior is because you and that man are not on the same level. So that's why I was abandoned. Is that so? Mo Beiyin turns and replies, anyone can live without anyone else. Xiaoyu has an epiphany. That's right. Who knows how well he's living right now, while I'm here wallowing in self-pity. At this moment, Xiaoyu makes a resolution. Mr. Mo, I want to ask you for a favor. Mo Beiyin asks, what is it? Can you help me get a new identity? Xiaoyu looks at him with determination. Mo Beiyin is puzzled. Are you sure? Xiaoyu replies, there's no going back, so I want to start over. Misunderstanding her husband's intimate behavior with his first love, she leaves in disappointment to start a new life with a new identity. A gust of wind blows past the window. Xiaoyu can't dodge in time, and the bandage comes loose, revealing a familiar face. Mo Beiyin is stunned. Seeing this, Xiaoyu covers her eyes with her hand and says, what a strong wind. Mo Beiyin takes a step closer. This face is exactly the same as Qin Xiqian's. He then says, I've thought of your new identity. Wen Xiqian. Xiaoyu smooths her hair, softly repeating the new name, Wen Xiqian. Mo Beiyin asks, is that okay? Xiaoyu nods with satisfaction that it's very nice. It's okay. She turns and forces a sweet smile. 5 years later, Mr. Mo is holding a charity auction on a cruise ship. Wealthy people from all walks of life have gathered. Lu Chen also attends the banquet with Zhou Qishuan. Boss, I heard the champion of the ET fashion design competition is also here. The main event of the auction is the agency rights for her brand. Lu Chen replies perfunctorily, MHM. Seeing his indifference, Zhou Qishuan says excitedly, Boss, there are many competitors. Why aren't you worried at all? Seeing Lu Chen remain silent, Zhou Qishuan's expression is one of speechlessness. He sighs. Ever since when Xiaoyu disappeared, the boss has been dispirited every day. After a while, Zhou Qishuan holds up a mask and says, Boss, the masquerade ball is about to start. I'm going to have some fun. Please make yourself at home. Lu Chen is still perfunctory. Go on. In the masquerade ballroom, everyone dances gracefully to the music. Lu Chen has something on his mind, standing alone and drinking sullenly. Xiaoyu, where on earth did you go? I really miss you so much. Just then, a beautiful woman in blue high heels walks by. Her golden hair is dazzling, although her face is hidden behind a mask. Judging by the aura of her walk, she is absolutely beautiful. The two brush past each other, the faint fragrance emanating from the beautiful woman when Xiaoyu. Lu Chen's heart tightens upon smelling it. This scent is so familiar. It must be her. Xiaoyu turns and quickens her pace to chase after her. The woman walks into the masquerade ball, but notices someone behind her staring at Lu Chen. He tightly grabs her arm. The beautiful woman's face pales. Miss, could you take off your mask? 5 years pass in a flash. Xiaoyu becomes a famous designer and returns with great honor. In the ballroom, the woman makes a grand entrance. Her blue backless dress outlines her perfect curves, revealing a peerless beauty. Suddenly, her slender hand was grabbed forcefully. The woman turned her head to look. Miss, could you take off your mask? 1,000 thoughts raced through the woman's mind. How could it be him? Looking at the man before her, painful memories flooded her heart. A full 5 years. They had finally met again. The woman clenched her fists, reminding herself, you are Wen Xiqian now. You're no longer the Wen Xiaoyu of the past. Everything has started over. It's impossible to go back. Lu Chen said with pleasant surprise, Xiaoyu. Xiaoyu snapped out of her memories and said politely, sir. You must have the wrong person. Such a familiar voice. Lu Chen felt as if all the blood had been drained from his body. It really was her. Xiqian then took off her mask, her expression as cold as ice. Sir, can you let go now? Lu Chen looked at the woman before him. The hope that had ignited in his heart was extinguished once again. It's not her. Am I going crazy? To actually mistake someone else for Xiaoyu. He disappointedly let go of her arm. I'm sorry. I was rude. Xiqian turned and warned herself again. I'm no longer the old Xiaoyu who could be pushed around. Even if we meet again, no matter how my heart stirs, I am Wen Xiqian. There's no going back. In the distance, the brother and sister pair took in the whole scene. Xiaoyan said, Brother, you're really taking this well. Aren't you afraid she'll run off with that man? Mo Beiyin pretended to be calm, that it's not important. In reality, he was already fraught with worry. Xiaoyan teased. You really don't mean what you say. Just then, dark clouds gathered in the sky, and a heavy rain began to fall. The crowd, their fun spoiled, headed back. The sea crashed against the crew's ship, making the sound of waves. Everyone ran anxiously towards the interior. Mo Beiyin held a jacket over Xiaoyan to shield her from the rain. Where's Sister Xiqian? Mo Beiyin's face showed worry that we have to find her quickly. Otherwise, she could be in danger. When Xiqian, having no experience with boats, felt a wave of dizziness, and her stomach was churning. Zhou Qishuan pulled Lu Chun, running towards the interior. Lu Chun noticed when Xiqian, leaning over the side of the ship, vomiting violently. Looking at her back, he was reminded of Xiaoyu when she was pregnant. Zhou Qishuan said from the side, "Boss, what are you staring at? Let's go inside." Lu Chun muttered, "Xiaoyu." Beside him, Zhou Qishuan looked helpless. That's not Xiaoyu. Lu Chun walked towards the woman. When Xiqian clutched her mouth, seasickness was truly awful. Just then, a man ran towards Wen Xiqian. It was Mo Beiyin. Lu Chun watched him with an indescribable sense of melancholy. Beiyin knelt down, draped his jacket over her, and asked, "Are you okay?" Xiqian weakly replied, "I'm fine." Then, Mo Beiyin carried her away. Watching the two of them leave, Lu Chun actually felt a little disappointed. A misunderstanding 5 years ago made her leave, disheartened. She transformed herself and took on a new identity. Watching the two of them disappear into the distance, Lu Chun's heart was filled with loneliness. Seeing this, Zhou Qishuan comforted him. "Boss, are you okay?" Lu Chun looked dejected. "I'm fine." Xiqian leaned against Mo Beiyin's chest. "It's over. I feel like I'm going to die." Mo Beiyin said, "If you're gone, all those people who came for your brand agency today will have made a trip for nothing." At the auction gala, everyone was in high spirits, scrambling to bid on Jun's design, Tears of the Clear Sky. The auctioneer made a final call for 35 million. I asked there another bid. No one in the room raised the price. The final hammer fell. Congratulations to Mr. Fong for winning the final featured piece, Tears of the Clear Sky. All of our items have now been auctioned. Just then, someone interrupted the auctioneer. Wait, were we told that Jun would be attending the auction this time? How come we still haven't seen her? The auctioneer replied, Jun is not attending this gala. There was no official announcement to that effect. Xiaoyan, listening from below, let out a chuckle. She said to Xiqian, if it weren't for using your name, how could this charity dinner have raised such a large donation? Those people really paid an arm and a leg, all just to leave a deep impression on Jun. Xiqian said, that's fine too. At least they get the fine reputation of being great philanthropists. She then stood up. I'm going to the restroom. I'll be right back. Xiqian walked past Lu Chun, catching his attention. Lu Chun felt an inexplicable curiosity about this woman who looked so much like Xiaoyu. He immediately got up and followed her, determined to figure out the woman's identity. In the restroom, Xiqian washed her hands, thinking about what had just happened. Seeing him again stirred up an indescribable emotion. Xiqian splashed water on her face. Snap out of it. Don't think about it anymore. It's all in the past. She composed herself and adjusted her mood. Pushing the door open, she was about to walk out. Suddenly, she heard a man's voice. Please wait. Xiqian looked and saw it was Lu Chun. Her face turned cold. It's you. Can I help you? Lu Chun wanted to verify his suspicion again. Xiaoyu, is it really you? Xiqian wanted to escape, her feet fumbling in a panic. Lu Chun saw her nervousness. He moved closer. You seem a little nervous. Xiqian thought, I can't let him see. She flirtatiously lifted Lu Chun's chin. Mr. Lu, don't you know that staring at a lady like this is extremely impolite behavior? Lu Chun looked at the flirtatious woman before him. He was disappointed. It's not her. She wouldn't talk to me like this. Lu Chun stepped back in distaste. Xiqian finally breathed a sigh of relief, thinking she had to get away from here quickly. She turned and said, if there's nothing else, I'll be going. Lu Chun directly exposed her identity. You're Jun, aren't you? You're Jun, aren't you? Lu Chun saw through the woman's true identity. Xiqian looked puzzled. I'd like to hear more. Lu Chun moved closer to Xiqian. Jun has always favored hollowed-out waist designs. It's just that this time, the cutout design uses a diamond. Lu Chun reached out to touch Xiqian. He said teasingly, this design is truly a mix of exquisite and sexy. Xiqian pushed Lu Chun's hand away. Please have some self-respect. Is Mr. Lu also here for the brand agency? Lu Chun replied, of course. I like your designs very much. I'm very much looking forward to collaborating with Jun. I'm afraid you'll be disappointed disappointed. I have no intention of collaborating at the moment. Just then, the lights suddenly went out. The surroundings were plunged into darkness. Siqian looked flustered. At a power outage. Lu Chun was also startled by the sudden darkness. The two of them felt their way along the wall, moving slowly. Siqian accidentally stepped on Lu Chun's foot. Oh no. Then, they both fell to the ground. Siqian was pinned under Lu Chun. She was completely embarrassed, using her hands to cover vital areas. Lu Chun scrambled to his feet. Sorry, I didn't do it on purpose. In his haste, his hand pressed against something soft. Siqian immediately began to struggle, kicking and flailing. She slapped at Lu Chun. Lu Chun grabbed her hand and said in a low voice, "Stop moving." He thought, damn it, why am I feeling this way? Siqian calmed down. A familiar feeling washed over her again. The lights came on. Siqian immediately came to her senses, slapped Lu Chun, and got up to leave. Lu Chun sat on the floor, holding his face, feeling wronged. He savored the sensation from a moment ago, looking at his hand. What did I just touch? As the auction came to a close, the host said, "Next, let's welcome the organizer of our charity gala, Mr. Mo, to the stage for a speech." Applause erupted from all sides. The man took the microphone and walked onto the stage. The host next to him looked at him with an infatuated expression. Oh handsome. Lu Chun returned to his seat. Zhou Qishuan asked doubtfully, "Hey boss, what took you so long? Where did you just go?" Lu Chun said shyly, "Nowhere." Zhou Qishuan grinned slyly. "Nonsense. Your face is all red. And that beautiful lady who just came back with you, her face was as red as a little apple, too." Just as Siqian returned, Xiaoyan said sarcastically, "What took you so long?" Siqian deliberately changed the subject. Mo is speaking. A loving newlywed couple. A car accident changed their lives. On the stage, Mo Beiyin said, "Thank you all very much for attending this charity gala." Then there was a long silence. The entire venue was quiet, completely silent. The host asked, and Siqian smiled awkwardly. As expected, Mr. Mo is still a man of few words. The audience below was dead silent. To ease the awkwardness, the host smiled resourcefully and said, "Since the beginning of our charity work, many well-known figures in society have extended a helping hand. We sincerely hope that the impoverished families who receive this help can make good use of this kindness. Study and work hard and give back to society." Mo Beiyin impatiently added. Then the host's gaze turned to him. "I heard that Xiaoyan is also here today. She's the top of the 10 most famous socialites in the capital. There must be many single elites here who would like to catch a glimpse of her, right?" Mo Beiyin said with extreme anger, "She's still young." Suddenly, a woman from offstage said, "Compared to Xiaoyan, I'm actually more curious about the identity of another lady." As everyone knows, Mo Beiyin is not interested in women and has always only had his sister by his side. But since some time ago, a woman whose temperament and appearance are in no way inferior to Xiaoyan's has appeared by his side. I wonder what this lady's name is. And what is her relationship with Mr. Mo? Mo Beiyin replied coldly, "None of your business." The woman fiercely retorted, "How is it none of my business? Didn't you say you hate women? Now you're acting so intimately with this woman. Could it be that she's your fiancée? Then what was I back then?" Mo Beiyin's face instantly darkened. The host was breaking out in a cold sweat. Xiaoyan retorted on her brother's behalf. "Qi Feifei, are you afraid people don't know that I was the one who broke off your engagement back then?" Qi Feifei was furious. He's only so cocky because of his family. I'd say you're the impressive one, boss. Starting from scratch and still being able to stand here, so powerful and imposing. Lu Chun didn't pay attention to his words, but instead muttered, "Fiancé." Lu Chun replied sternly, "Don't make jokes like that in the future. I'm a married man." He then turned and left. Coincidentally, this sentence was overheard by Siqian. "I want all the information on this woman within 3 days," Lu Chun said, holding a photo of Siqian. Zhou Qishuan took the photo, smiling slyly. "The boss is such a hypocrite." Lu Chun looked at the file. "She is Jun." Zhou Qishuan looked shocked. "The matter of Jun's brand agency needs to be approached through her." Zhou Qishuan stroked his chin. "No wonder you were acting so strange." "So she's Jun?" Lu Chun asked, strange. He picked up Xiao Yu's photo, his heart filled with mixed feelings. He then said, "You can go out first." Zhou Qishuan turned to leave. "Boss, I'll go investigate now. Remember to eat a proper lunch." Zhou Qishuan slowly closed the door. He felt a bit of heartache, seeing Lu Chen's dejected look. When will he be able to move on? Just then, Jian Ran appeared behind him. What are you doing standing there, acting all sneaky? Zhou Qishuan, lost in thought, was startled. He was exasperated. Why are you here again? Jian Ran ignored Zhou Qishuan and knocked before entering. I knew you'd forget to eat. I brought you something you like, a cheese and durian pizza. Lu Chan put down the photo and said coldly, thank you, but you shouldn't do these things in the future. I don't want people to get the wrong idea. Jian Ran said in a low voice, I don't care. Lu Chen retorted, but I do. It's been 5 years. Don't waste your time on me. I won't be with you. Jian Ran looked disappointed. What about you? It's been 5 years. Why haven't you let go yet? In the company hallway, the secretary brought 2 small children to find Lu Chun. The girl was called Lu Zaini, and the boy was called Lu Zaixiao. Xiao Xiao looked at the ice cream in Xiaoni's hand, drooling with envy. Xiaoni said like a grown-up, you have a cold, so you can't eat it. Xiao Xiao looked aggrieved because he couldn't have any ice cream. In the office, the two were arguing fiercely. She will come back. Jian Ran said angrily, if she were still alive, she would have come back long ago. She cared so much. How could she bear not to come back for you? And for such a lovely pair of children. As a mother, she couldn't possibly be so cold-blooded. The 2 siblings were engrossed in their eavesdropping. Lu Chan stood up, slammed the table, and roared, enough. This is my business. It's none of your concern. Xiaoni was so scared that she dropped her ice cream on the floor. Xiao Xiao squatted down and looked at the ice cream. What a shame. Xiaoni looked at her pathetic brother, speechless. Lu Chan saw his 2 treasures, and his face instantly broke into a smile. Darlings, school's out. Come give Daddy a hug. Xiaoni pushed Lu Chen away in disgust. That I don't want to. Xiao Xiao hugged Lu Chen's neck, playing happily. While the 3 of them were playing, Jian Ran tried to curry favor from the side, saying, come have some pizza. The siblings looked at the auntie before them, showing no appreciation at all. They were united, were not hungry. You can go home now. Lu Chen said, I still have some things to do. Jian Ran was dejected. Is everything I do worthless in your eyes? Xiaoni said articulately, Annie, you're so diligent, coming to chase after my dad every day. Jian Ran was rendered speechless by Xiaoni. Do you know why you can't win my dad over? Come closer, and I'll tell you. Jian Ran leaned her ear closer. Because you're too clingy. Girls who are too clingy are disliked, especially at your age. This persona really doesn't suit you. Jian Ran was driven mad with anger. She turned and left. Xiaoni sat in the chair with a triumphant look. She enjoyed the admiring applause from her father and brother. After Jian Ran left, Xiaoni picked up a slice of pizza, about to eat it. Her brother came forward and said, how can you eat the pizza that woman bought? Didn't you hear her bad-mouthing mom just now? Xiaoni looked at the pizza in her hand and said, I think she made a lot of sense. It's been 5 years, and Mom hasn't come back. She must not care about us. Hearing his sister speak ill of their mother, Xiao Xiao started crying sadly that you're lying. It's not like that. Lu Chun comforted Xiao Xiao from the side, his heart full of helplessness. Xiao Yu, why haven't you come back yet? It's been 5 years. Where on earth are you? In the office, the 2 siblings were diligently doing their homework. Lu Chen looked at the file and said, her name is Wen Xiqian. Yes, boss. Yijun's real name is Wen Xiqian. Her hometown seems to be in City A. Lu Chen fell into deep thought. She's also surnamed Wen. He stood up and said, if there are no surprises, her flight arrives in City tonight. Lu Chen straightened his tie. Have you taken care of the things I asked you to do? Zhou Qishuan was full of confidence that, don't worry, it's all taken care of. When you show it to Yijun, she'll definitely be moved to tears. Xiao Xiao tugged on Lu Chen's clothes. Daddy, do you still have work? Yes. Uncle Zhou will take you home in a bit. He turned to his daughter and said, Xiao Xiao often says you want to go rafting. Once Xiao Xiao's cold is better, Daddy will take you. Xiaoni replied, it's my brother who wants to go. It has nothing to do with me. Xiao Xiao looked flustered. Sister, don't say that. Lu Chun had long seen through his daughter's little thoughts. She clearly wanted to go, but wouldn't admit it. He deliberately said, Xiaoni, you don't want to go? Xiaoni replied, I don't. Daddy, you should just focus on your work. When Xiao Xiao heard his sister say she didn't want to go, he immediately begged, Daddy, can we go? Please, can we go? At the City H airport, the plane landed smoothly. Xiqian was walking and talking on the phone. The person on the other end said worriedly, be safe. Take care of yourself. Xiqian replied, don't worry. I'm not a child. Just then, Lu Chun called out from behind, Yijun, please wait. Xiqian turned to look. It was Lu Chun. She thought, why is he here? You really can't escape what you fear. Lu Chun tested the waters or perhaps I should call you Miss One. His words made Xiqian feel a little guilty. Lu Chun moved closer, that I'm a pretty good new hire. A loving couple was misunderstood because of an accident. Siqian stopped Lu Chun from getting closer. What are you doing? Lu Chun walked over and asked Siqian, are you interested in me? Siqian shyly lowered her head. Not interested. Lu Chun said, if you're not interested, then how did you know my surname is Lu? Siqian was at a loss, taking a panicked step back, but she twisted her ankle. Lu Chun quickly grabbed her. Who are you? Siqian's mind went blank. She clenched her fists, forcing herself to calm down. Lu Chun's heart was already set. Why aren't you talking? He excitedly grabbed Siqian's shoulders. When Xiaoyu, say something. Siqian calmed herself. She began to speak that a man who, through his own efforts, founded multiple successful companies and became a billionaire. Who doesn't know of your prestige? As she spoke, she pushed Lu Chun away. Mr. Emma wants to cooperate with you. You dote on your wife, but I am not her. Lu Chun was lost in thought that I'm sorry for bothering you again. Siqian turned to leave. If there's nothing else, I'll be taking my leave. Lu Chun called out, wait. I was going to talk to you about your brand agency. Siqian replied without expression. I remember I already told you. Lu Chun said, take a look. He handed her his phone. Siqian was puzzled. What is this? Lu Chun said, my assistant has visited many customers. They have high praise for your designs. Siqian seemed to hesitate upon seeing the message. Thank you everyone for appreciating my work. Lu Chun interrupted her. One Siqian, I can understand your desire for creative freedom, but don't you want your work to be used by more people? Siqian's heart was moved. She remembered Xiaoyan stepping on and shattering the sky blue raincoat, and her head throbbed. When she came back to her senses, she realized the phone had been locked. Mr. Lu, could you help me? Lu Chun took the phone back. Siqian patted her chest. She had almost unlocked it out of habit just now. Lu Chun unlocked the screen. The first thing that appeared was a photo of his two children. Siqian stared blankly at the screen. Siqian glanced at the wallpaper on Lu Chun's phone, and countless thoughts flashed through her mind. Are these Mr. Lu's children? Lu Chun said proudly, yes, they're very cute. Aren't they? He suddenly asked in return, do you like children? Siqian thought about her reaction just now, which had been a bit extreme. At a loss for words, she said, I'm sorry. The children are so cute. I lost my composure for a moment. It was rude of me. At this moment, Siqian felt a little sad. For so many years, she had been restraining herself from seeing them, not knowing how to appear before them. What right do I have to see them? Mr. Lu is truly blessed to have such lovely children by his side. Lu Chun replied politely, a woman as outstanding as Miss, one must have many men wanting to marry you. Siqian was a little disappointed to hear that I don't really like maintaining romantic or marital relationships. Siqian said this, but in her heart, she truly missed Xiao Xiao and Xiaoni. Lu Chun retorted, that's not good. You'll miss out on a lot of happiness. Don't you think that's a pity? Siqian replied coolly, in my opinion, happiness is the most unreliable thing. It's better not to have it at all than to lose it. Lu Chun was completely baffled. What on earth had she been through to have such an outlook? Just then, Lu Chun's phone rang. Excuse me, I have to take this call. Lu Chun stood to the side. Xiao Xiao, Xiaoni is sick. I'm on my way to the hospital. He turned to say goodbye to Siqian. Siqian, I have an emergency, so I must be going. After Lu Chun left, Siqian had a worried expression. Are the babies sick? She knew she no longer had the right, but she still couldn't let go. She would still feel sad. But what right does a heartless person like me have to be sad? In the Mo family villa, Siqian sat on the bed, looking lost. Mo Bayan walked in with a bowl of porridge. Siqian lowered her head, her spirits low. Mo Bayan asked with concern, has something happened recently? You seemed listless these past few days. Siqian asked, did I do the wrong thing? Mo Bayan put down the bowl, his heart filled with mixed emotions. Was keeping her by his side back then really the right thing to do? Will she be happy in the future? For the past 5 years, I've been working hard, studying design, participating in various competitions, so busy that I've even forgotten the past. Mo Bayan asked, even if you were by his side now, would you be happy? Xiaoyan has been helping you investigate Lu Chun all these years. Didn't you see it with your own eyes? Siqian remembered those things and felt some resistance. All right, don't say any more. Meeting Lu Chun again, I'm still easily influenced by him. This isn't the feeling I want. I need to become stronger and more independent. Mo Bayan picked up the porridge, but don't think so much. Eat first. Siqian took the bowl and said, I'll do it myself. I need to rely on myself. I plan to move out and open a brand studio. Mo Bayan was a bit flustered by this sudden change. Have you thought it through? Actually, I've thought it through for a long time. Being with you is very freeing, but it won't put pressure on me. Mainly, I don't want to cause you trouble. Being mistaken for your fiancé before caused you a lot of trouble. MANGAI was lost in thought that if anything comes up in the future, remember to come find me. Don't try to be strong. After speaking, Siqian walked out of the room, saying happily, don't worry. I'm looking forward to my future life. Outside the door, Xiaoyan heard everything clearly. Brother, are you really going to let her go? MANGAI looked dejected. Xiaoyan looked at her brother's lonely back. Siqian was driving while on the phone. Xiaoyan, I've already moved out. Siqian said, I plan to live at the studio for a while. Xiaoyan said with concern, I have a friend who happens to need a tenant. You could just live there. Siqian quickly refused that, no, that's okay. Living at the studio is convenient and save a lot of time. Seeing her plan fail, Xiaoyan felt a little annoyed. She thought, couldn't Siqian have discovered something? That's impossible. The driver from the car accident, the plastic surgeon, and old K who forged the evidence against Lu Chun were all arranged by me. No one could know. While Siqian was driving, someone suddenly rushed out from the road. Siqian was startled, quickly slammed on the brakes, and got out to check. A girl had fallen in front of the car, shouting, ouch. You've killed me. What's so great about driving a luxury car? Siqian asked with concern, are you okay? How can I be okay? My leg is about to break. The girl shouted. Siqian saw the girl's face clearly, and her expression showed shock. It was her sister, Wen Xiaochu. The girl had actually tried to stage an accident with her own sister. Siqian hit a girl with her car. When she got out to check, it turned out to be her own sister, Wen Xiaochu. Xiaochu looked at Siqian before her, feeling that she looked somewhat familiar. Siqian was startled. Had she been recognized? Xiaochu's face lit up with excitement. You're Yijun, right? Siqian was immediately relieved. Aren't you curious how I knew? Right now, Siqian was most concerned about whether her sister was hurt. That's not important. Your knee is injured. I'll take you to the hospital first. The two got back in the car. Xiaochu let out a fake cry, ouch. My leg hurts so much. Siqian saw through Xiaochu's act in a single glance. You often stage accidents like this? Xiaochu was startled. How did you know I was staging an accident? After saying it, she realized her mistake and quickly covered her mouth. I didn't say anything. Siqian advised, there are many ways to make money. Why must you do it this way? Xiaochu looked helpless. How much can you earn from a regular job? How would you know about the lives of poor people like us? I spend all my time working, and I don't even know how long it will take to save up enough money. Siqian asked, why do you need so much money? Because my mother is very sick. Siqian was stunned. She thought about how she hadn't been home in 5 years, and a wave of guilt toward her mother washed over her. Seeing Siqian's silence, Xiaochu gave an embarrassed smile. It's fine telling you. You probably don't believe me anyway, so just pretend you didn't hear it. Since you're my idol, I won't scam you. Just drop me off at the intersection. Xiaochu finally breathed a sigh of relief. It's not like they'd ever cross paths again. It's better to talk to a stranger. Siqian suddenly accelerated the car. Xiaochu was alarmed. Sister, where are you taking me? The police station? When they arrived at the hospital, Siqian took out a bank card. She said there was 200,000 in it. Xiaochu was surprised. Why are you giving me so much money? Had she run into a fool? Siqian replied, I hit you. You deserve compensation. Then she walked out of the hospital. She thought about what Xiaochu had said, feeling puzzled. Mama's always been healthy. How did she suddenly get sick? Just then, she heard crying from nearby. Siqian looked over curiously. A little boy was sitting on the grass, crying his eyes out. A mother who abandoned her own child would surely feel guilty seeing him again after so many years. Seeing the little boy crying so sadly, Siqian wanted to go and comfort him. She walked over to take a look. It was Xiao Xiao, whom she hadn't seen in 5 years. Siqian was both happy and ashamed. Xiao Xiao sat in the grass, crying so heartbreakingly. It made Siqian's heart ache to see him. Siqian knelt down. This was the first time she had been this close to Xiao Xiao in 5 years. She asked softly, what's wrong? Xiao Xiao, his face covered in tears, said, I'm lost. Siqian wiped Xiao Xiao's tears. Don't cry. I'll take you to see your dad. Xiao Xiao resisted. I don't want dad. He's going to hold me and make me get a shot. Rubbing his big eyes, he said, pretty auntie, do you know my dad? Siqian gently stroked his head. Yes, and he knows your dad. Is his name Lu Chun? Xiao Xiao's heart stirred. His eyes widened as he asked, pretty auntie, do you like my dad? Siqian's expression was awkward, that I can tell. You're not the first girl to try to get close to my dad through me. Xiao Xiao leaned close to Siqian's ear. He whispered, seeing as you're so pretty, I'd advise you to give up early. Because Dad only has Mom in his heart. He's not interested in other women at all. As he spoke, he took out a photo. This is my mom, the most beautiful mom in the world. Xiqian froze. It was her in Lu Chen's wedding photo. Xiqian asked worriedly, will she come back? Xiao Xiao said with an excited expression, Mom will definitely come back. Xiqian thought to herself, can I really go back to the past? Xiao Xiao held back his tears and said, Mom will definitely come back. Dad is trying so hard to find her. He'll find her one day. Xiqian fell into deep thought. How is this completely different from what I knew before? Shouldn't he be living happily with that other woman? She thought of Xiaoyan helping her investigate Lu Chun. Weren't there records of Lu Chun being with Jian Ran? Hotel itineraries and travel tickets. And those sweet photos of them. Xiao Xiao saw Xiqian's sad expression and comforted her. Don't be too sad. Although I don't dislike you, Dad doesn't seem to be interested in other women at all. Just then, Lu Chen walked over. Xiqian hadn't yet snapped back to reality and was staring blankly at the photo. Xiao Xiao leaned over to look, thinking, is this photo really that nice to look at? Xiao Xiao saw that it was his father and quickly held on to Xiqian. What a coincidence. I was just about to call you. Xiao Xiao showed me the photo. Lu Chen took the photo, that it's nothing. Xiqian asked, who is the person in this photo? Lu Chen's reply was, my wife. Xiqian was stunned, thinking, could I have really been mistaken? Since you're here, I'll be going now. Lu Chen patted Xiao Xiao's head. Thank you. Xiqian quickly walked away. Xiao Xiao asked, Daddy, do you know this pretty Annie? How did she know my name is Xiao Xiao? Lu Chen was lost in thought, growing even more suspicious of Xiqian's identity. To find out the truth, Xiqian frantically tried to get information out of Zhou Qishuan. On the way, she thought about what Lu Chen had said, her heart filled with mixed emotions. What on earth is going on? Why is everything different from what Xiaoyan told me? Thinking of this, Xiqian trembled with anger and I have to ask her clearly. But when she took out her phone, she felt something was off. If she wants to hide it, what's the use in asking her? This time, I'll investigate it myself. Xiqian hired a detective at a coffee shop. For all these years, Mr. Liu has been very close with a woman surnamed Jian. Xiqian took the photos. She discovered that Lu Chen often traveled under the guise of business trips. Hearing this, Xiqian became even more suspicious. She handed the detective a payment. The detective took the money guiltily and turned to leave. I'll be going. Contact me if you need anything else. Xiqian looked at the photos the detective sent, lost in thought. This is similar to the information Xiaoyan gave me. But the more similar it is, the more I feel like something is being deliberately hidden. And the detective's guilty expression was too suspicious. Could it be that everything I saw was fake? That Lu Chen never betrayed me. Xiqian walked out of the coffee shop, mulling it over. Before she knew it, she had arrived downstairs at Lu Chen's home. This place holds all my beautiful memories and the person I love. If it weren't for all this, we would have been happy, just as Xiqian was reminiscing. Zhou Qishuan walked out of Lu Chen's house. Miss Wen, what are you doing here? Xiqian felt guilty hearing him call her Miss Wen. Zhou Qishuan handed her a pen and paper. The famous Yijun, could I get an autograph? Xiqian sighed in relief. All right. Then she decided to test his story.mr. Liu really wants my agency rights, doesn't he? I looked at his business trip records from these past few years. He's a workaholic. He should be a good business partner. Zhou Qishuan was full of admiration for Lu Chen. Yes, Miss Wen, you made the right choice choosing us. Xiqian continued to probe.mr. Liu takes you on business trips. I think I saw you at the charity auction. Zhou Qishuan rolled up his sleeves, transforming into a workhorse for the production team. Of course, I'm the boss's right-hand man. Who else would it be? Xiqian asked. Only you. Zhou Qishuan patted his chest and said, that's right. Although many people want to go with the boss, and of course, many female employees want to throw themselves at him, the boss rejected them all. I know best what the boss likes. Besides, the boss's mind is currently full of those two little rascals and his missing wife. Xiqian quickly asked Xiaoyu. Zhou Qishuan replied, when Xiaoyu is his wife. Zhou Qishuan questioned, why are you asking so many questions? Have you fallen for the boss? Xiqian answered flusteredly, I just want to understand my future business partner. I have no other intentions. Zhou Qishuan quickly tried to play matchmaker. He really doesn't care about other people. But Miss Wen, I always feel he's very special towards you. Maybe it's because your surname is also Wen. Xiqian was lost in thought. Does he already know something? When a relationship is maliciously torn apart, are you angry or... Lu Chen came out with his two little monsters. Zhou Qishuan waved. Miss Wen, I'll be going now. Xiqian looked at Lu Chen. She felt she might have been misled. Lu Chen noticed someone looking at him. He turned his head and was stunned. "This is my home." "Miss Wen, why are you here?" Xiao Xiao looked at Si Qian. "Pretty Auntie, long time no see." Si Qian walked past him and patted his head. Xiao Xiao seemed very happy to see her, but Xiaoni was full of hostility towards her. For some reason, she felt a sense of dislike. Lu Chen asked again, "Why are you here?" Si Qian pretended to be calm. "That you're allowed to investigate me, but I'm not allowed to investigate you. So you came to confirm where I live." Hearing this, Si Qian panicked, thinking, "I came here to confirm if what happened back then was true, as Mo Beiyan said." Lu Chun still seems the same as before, deeply in love with the old me. "Didn't I come here to find out the truth? I really want to know if you truly betrayed me." Si Qian made up her mind and asked Lu Chun, "Actually, there's something I want to ask you. Is it true that—" Before she could finish, a shout came from behind. The two looked towards the sound. Xiaoyan linked her arm with Si Qian's sister-in-law. "It's better to leave this kind of thing to me." Si Qian was speechless. Xiaoyan said with a blushing face, "Mr. Lu, I know you're a married man, and you have 2 children. It's a bit rude of me to say this, but I really want to tell you in person. Could you give me a chance?" Hearing Xiaoyan being so direct, Si Qian was stunned. She hissed in a low voice, "Mo Beiyan, what are you doing?" Xiaoyan said shyly, "Sister-in-law, I'm sorry. Thank you for your kind offer. And your acting is terrible." Hearing Lu Chun expose her trick, Xiaoyan's heart skipped a beat. Lu Chun turned around and said, "Miss Wen, you'll have plenty of opportunities to ask your questions in the future." As soon as Lu Chun left, Si Qian yelled at Mo Beiyan. What was the meaning of that? Mo Beiyan acted cute. "Sister Si Qian, I don't know what you're talking about." Si Qian's face changed drastically. "What exactly have you been hiding?" A girl is saved, but then morally blackmailed. To repay the kindness, she is expected to give herself in return. Si Qian questioned, "Did you forge that evidence of him cheating? And was that detective also bought by you?" Seeing that her secret was out, Xiaoyan stopped acting and went with the flow. "That you're pretty smart. I thought it would take you more time to find out." "That's right. The results of the investigation I gave you were all fake." Si Qian yelled, "Does Mo Beiyan know about this? If he knew what you did, you'd be done for." Xiaoyan was not to be outdone. "What? You're using my brother to threaten me?" "I was doing this for his own good. Don't you know how to repay kindness? Do you have any idea that my brother likes you?" Si Qian was shocked to hear this. Xiaoyan said with disappointment, "Otherwise, why would we have gone to such lengths to save you? If it weren't for my brother, you wouldn't even have the chance to be standing here. Have you forgotten? You were critically injured and on the verge of death. You were disfigured. You were worthless. Who was it that stayed with you, step by step, as you slowly became so dazzling?" Si Qian was at a loss for words. Xiaoyan cried as she said that for all these years, you've been working so hard. If the Mo family hadn't given you a new identity, you would never have had the chance to start over. And now you're saying you want to abandon me. Abandon my brother. Sister Si Qian, you're too cruel. If you do this, Mo Beiyan won't forgive you. He's a gentleman. He won't force someone against their will. Hearing this, Xiaoyan started to play the victim. "Are you going to tell my brother? Make him cut ties with his only family?" Si Qian's mind was in turmoil again, unsure whether she should tell Mo Beiyan. Xiaoyan gave Si Qian a hug. "I'm begging you, Sister Si Qian, stay here and be my sister-in-law, okay? If you're with my brother, we'll all treat you well. Everyone in our circle is already saying you're my brother's fiancé. If you get together with Lu Chun, what will I do? Besides, you and Lu Chun can't go back to how things were. It's been 5 years. What reason do you have for not coming back to find them? How can you expect Lu Chun to forgive you? Are you really going to push all the blame onto me? Mo Beiyan is right. Without the Mo family, I could never have become Ijuan. I wouldn't have even survived. But if I marry Mo Beiyan against my own, well, just to repay his kindness, it would be too unfair to him. How could his pride ever compromise on this? In the past, because of her low self-esteem and prejudice, when Xiaoyu missed out on Lu Chun, missed out on Xiao Xiao and Xiao and I. Faced with this kind of situation, I should make a choice. But now, I am Si Qian. Since I've been reborn, I can't make the same mistake again. 2 business titans come to blows over a woman. In the office, Lu Chun stared blankly at a photo of Xiaoyu. He thought about the things that had happened between him and Si Qian. He kept feeling that something was off, so he made a call to Su Si. Her name is Wen Si Qian. I had Zhou Qixuan look into her before, but I feel her identity isn't that simple. The person on the other end of the line asked, did you find something? Lu Chen replied, that's right. I suspect that when Si Qian is Xiao Yu, who disappeared 5 years ago. In the evening, Jian Ran arrived. Just as I thought, you're still working overtime. I know you're doing it to forget her, deliberately keeping yourself swamped with work. Lu Chen said, I never thought about forgetting her. Stop bothering me. Get out. Jian Ran looked dejected. She's gone. Can't you just accept me? Just then, Lu Chen's phone rang. He asked anxiously, how did the investigation go? Is it really her? On the other end of the line, Su Si said, Lu Chen, you were right. When Xiao Yu should be when Si Qian. The time she appeared by MO by inside is exactly when Xiao Yu disappeared. Lu Chen was overjoyed. His intuition was right after all. Jian Ran was shocked, never expecting Xiao Yu to still be alive. Just then, Zhou Qixuan poked his head in. Boss, Mr. MO from the MO Corporation is here to see you. Lu Chen thought, perfect timing. I was just about to go find them. In the reception room, the two titans of the business world stood face to face, their presence powerful. Mo Beiyan was staring straight out the window. Mr. Mo, I've heard so much about you. Mo Beiyan turned around. He was wearing a long trench coat, exuding an intimidating aura from head to toe. He said bluntly, CEO Lu, it seems you've had someone investigate when Si Qian. Lu Chen didn't back down. Mo Beiyan said, she's the person I want to protect. You should know that. Lu Chen retorted, I'm looking for my missing wife. It has nothing to do with you. When Si Qian is my wife, when Xiao Yu, who has been missing for many years. Mo Beiyan shot back. You dare question me? You betrayed her. Was she wrong to abandon you? I only want to protect her, but you hurt her. Hearing this, Lu Chen was furious. He threw a punch at Mo Beiyan. Mo Beiyan, cut the crap. What right do you have to protect my wife? Not to be outdone, Mo Beiyan punched Lu Chen right back. After speaking, he threw down a pile of photos. Look at what you've done. Lu Chen looked at the intimate photos of the two of them, completely shocked. What is going on? Mo Beiyan looked contemptuous. What's this? Still trying to play dumb? Lu Chen said, that's me in the photo, but I've never done anything like that. I don't know where this photo came from. Lu Chen was filled with disappointment. I can't believe something like this exists. Xiao Yu, in the end, you still didn't trust me. The domineering CEO searched for his wife for years, only to have her show up on his doorstep. Early the next morning, Zhou Qixuan arrived at the company and saw the dark circles under Lu Chen's eyes. He was startled. Miss Wen is here. You should freshen up quickly. If all goes well, we can secure the Yijun agency today. Lu Chen looked out the window thoughtfully. Si Qian was in the conference room, seriously reviewing documents. Lu Chen pushed the door open and entered. He slammed 2 files heavily onto the table. Si Qian jumped. CEO Lu this. Before she could finish, Lu Chen pushed Si Qian down into a chair, furious. How long are you going to keep up this act? When Xiao Yu. Si Qian was filled with deep self-reproach, hating her own foolishness. She said to Lu Chen, actually, I came here today not just for the brand agency. I've thought about it for a long time. I came to see you today to confess everything. But it seems you already know. Lu Chen completely exploded. All the emotions pent up for 5 years erupted. I've been looking for you for 5 years. Why didn't you come back to find me? Si Qian didn't dare to refute Lu Chen's question and apologized. Lu Chen was helpless. I don't want your apology. Where have you been for these 5 years? Si Qian said, a lot of things happened during that time. I wasn't able to come back and find you. In the end, it's my fault. I'm sorry. Being with you was the happiest time of my life. But ever since Jian Ran came back, she blatantly provoked me. I started to get scared that you would leave me because of my ordinary background. Just like with Qin Lihua, I started to doubt my trust in you, our relationship, and even myself. After listening, Lu Chen was lost in thought, feeling both heartbroken and angry. Just one misunderstanding and you forget about your 5-year disappearance? When Xiao Yu, I'm truly disappointed. No matter what happened, you should never have made such a decision on your own. Si Qian's heart was filled with guilt. Lu Chen said he couldn't forgive her. Let's go. We'll talk about signing the contract another day. After saying that, he turned to leave. Si Qian grabbed Lu Chen. With a cold face, Lu Chen said, let go. Si Qian said, I know I don't deserve your forgiveness, but I was deceived too. Maybe it's all too late. She let go of Lu Chen's hand, stood up, and said, I'm sorry for bothering you today. She turned as if to leave. Watching Si Qian's departing figure, Lu Chen was filled with mixed emotions. I've searched for 5 years. Now you're right here beside me. How could I possibly let you leave again? He quickly stepped forward and pulled Xiqian into his arms. 5 years of longing burst forth. Xiqian asked shyly, Lu Chun, have you forgiven me? Lu Chun gave a self-deprecating laugh. I've waited for 5 years, always searching for the truth. I know I should let you go, let you never come back, but I can't bear to. Xiqian was full of self-blame. I'm so sorry. Lu Chun held Xiqian's chin and gave her a deep kiss on the lips. If your mother gave birth to you, then disappeared for many years, would you still acknowledge her? That evening at the Lu family villa, a vase fell to the floor. Xiao and I said furiously, I don't want to acknowledge this mother. Lu Chun tried to persuade Xiao and I, your mother had her difficulties. Why don't you give her a chance? Xiao and I looked unwilling. I don't want to. Hearing this, Xiqian's face was filled with guilt. Xiao and I said haughtily, I didn't have a mother before, and I can do without one now and in the future. Why did she leave without saying goodbye? Now she just comes back whenever she wants? Seeing the emotional Xiao and I, the three of them were at a loss. Xiao mustered his courage, stepped forward, and asked, haven't you always missed Mom? Xiao and I roared, shut up. Since you like her so much, you can be with her forever. Then she ran out the main door. Xiqian hurriedly followed. Xiao and I, it's so late. Where are you going? Xiao and I said stubbornly, it's none of your business. Just then, Xiao and I accidentally twisted her ankle. Xiqian took off her high heels and quickly chased after her, running to Xiao Ni's side. She saw that Xiao and I had scraped her knee. As she was about to check on it, Xiao and I pushed her away, saying, go away, leave me alone, stay away from me. At this point, Xiao and I was crying heartbrokenly. Xiqian looked at Xiao and I, her heart filled with guilt. I know I don't deserve to be your mother. I won't come back until you agree. So please don't hurt yourself, okay? Why don't we go back first? Hearing Xiqian's sincere apology, Xiao and I let go of her pride. Xiqian held Xiao and I in her arms and said to Lu Chun, you should carry her back. Just as Lu Chun was about to pick Xiao and I up, she clung tightly to Xiqian, burying her head in Xiqian's embrace. Seeing that she had accepted Xiqian, the three of them were secretly happy. When Xiao saw his sister was no longer resisting, a happy smile appeared on his face. Xiqian looked at Xiao and I in her arms, holding her for the first time in 5 years. Her heart was filled with both excitement and self-reproach. Xiqian looked at Lu Chun, a happy smile on her face. Just then, Xiao and I started to cry. For 5 years, I missed you so much. Dad said you weren't dead, just that he couldn't find you. But if he couldn't find you, didn't you know how to come home? We were always waiting for you. Or did you just not care about us at all? Xiqian hurriedly explained, no, that's not it. I've always missed you all so much. It's just that as time went on, I became more and more afraid to come back. I'm sorry. I'll never leave you again. I'll give you all my love and stay by your side forever. I'll use the rest of my life to make up for what I owe you. In the room, Xiqian looked at herself in the mirror. Lu Chun suddenly hugged Xiqian from behind. What are you thinking about? Lu Chun was full of self-blame. I wasn't by your side when you had the car accident. I'm sorry, he said, stroking Xiqian's face. Xiqian leaned into Lu Chun's embrace. Just being able to hold you, knowing you still love me, makes me feel happy. Nothing that happened before matters. Lu Chun gently caressed Xiqian's face. He leaned in and kissed her passionately. The 5-year misunderstanding was finally resolved today.